Who is ready for Mindfuck the Game? Who is excited? Who is ready for the craziness to happen? What up, Travis? What big plays? Not ready, but still here. What up, Whammy? Triss, Queen Cheese, ready, excited? I'm glad. It's been a long and fun time in this game. Nope, Travis, probably not gonna do it today. I was up until 5:30 in the morning and overslept crazily. And there's stuff I need to get done today too. Non-stream wise, weirdly enough. So we'll have to do it like next weekend or something. We'll see. Why the sad face, Sparky? No sadness. Also, we are at Jack Stanley holding the gun. It does show with Sawa, but that's because we went back in time. So his game is continuing? Yep, good indeed. We're on the final stretch of the game, and I think we're going to start off with Midorikawa. Chiaki can't move. He's the only one who hasn't really talked to Kano or Achi. So let's talk to Mino. Chiaki can't move. No worries, Travis. Take it easy.
Hang in there, Chiaki! Just keep it together!
Minarikawa rushed to her side and offered her a hand.
Surely it hardly matters at this point.
Surely it hardly matters at this point. You're not going to make it on time regardless, Katayama said coldly. And in any case, if 4-star General Gossip doesn't get released, it's Mr. Toyama who's going to be in trouble, not you. I dare say the world would be better off with 1/3 rate Gossip Raglass anyway.
Shut your
mouth, Chiaki snapped. Oh, she cracked her glasses! Oh, she cracked her glasses too. Those are some good glasses. It's like when I sat on my other glasses in Brooklyn. If the gossip doesn't come out, I am going to be in trouble. An article I've written is supposed to be in the next month's issue. It's a piece I've worked my very hardest on to the very end. A piece Mr. Mino saw fit to put in print. And so if that goes away, if all of that goes away, yeah, I'll be in trouble, alright? Dang, her leg is bleeding. Jackie's legs wobbled as she struggled to get back to her feet. Chiaki, Katayama said, your zeal is a marvelous thing, worthy of admiration even. But when it comes to work, results are all that matters. I'm sorry I put it that way, but I must be honest. It's just common decency. Katayama glanced at his pocket watch. You have 57 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Yep. That's very true, Katone. Oh shoot! Bioterrorism! We have Alphard to deal with! Oh god! Maria's gonna die! Minarikawa?
Man, Toyama really needs to get out of debt. I'm gonna help him.
At this rate, you won't even make it to the interview venue before your time's up. Frankly, I don't think even a further extension of your deadline would make any difference in the end. Wow, he was considering doing an extension of the deadline.
Damn it!
Minarikawa grounded his teeth. He wondered if he should just leave Chiaki here and go interview SOS by himself. What a fighter. Fighter didn't get himself! Yo! 8 times in a row, got somebody else. He could expand the article on SOS, then work a small part on Chiaki's interview piece and to at least fill the layout. Right now, the single most important thing was getting the magazine out the door, for Toyama's sake. But if he did cut most of Chiaki's copy after all she's done, he might wind up totally killing her passion for being a writer. I have to stop waffling. Professionals don't let their personal feelings dictate their decisions. I can help Chiaki work through her emotional struggles later. What up, David?
Chiaki, that's enough!
The young woman got to her feet, staggering as she began to climb the stairs. I'm not giving up, she said under her breath. I can't give up now. Though obviously in pain, she struggled to keep her legs moving. Damn, I can't do it. Like, look how hard she's fighting and just stay the game. I can't tell her I don't need her article now. Releasing the next issue, the gossip wasn't just going to save Toyama, it would save Chiaki as well. Minorikawa couldn't abandon either one of them. Nice, David, nice. She's been doing pretty good, though, Katone. It takes time to practice. Takes time. Which left him with a hell of a dilemma. He needed to make a decision. If he didn't stop wavering soon, they'd be out of time. But try as he might, he couldn't come up with a plan. Then he heard a familiar voice from behind him. If you're wondering what path to take, allow my taxi to be your guide. Yo, it's Kimakura! I think is his name. I don't remember his name. Taxi man! Look at how dope he's looking. Kimazuka, sorry. Minorukawa spun around to see Kimazuka standing there. Where to, sir? The driver asked. Despite his polite demeanor, his pride was obvious.
Mr. Kimazuka, I appreciate the thought, but with this traffic...
Traffic? I see nothing of the sort.
Okay, sure, but...
Jesus Christ! Minorukawa was well aware of Kimazuka's capabilities, but the prospect of cutting through the chaos that currently filled the streets was more than a little daunting. When you know this town as well as I do, there's nowhere you can't go.
Alright.
What other choice do I have?
Guess I gotta trust you. This will be my last request of the day.
Minorukawa pointed down the street. Take us to the Bride in Uehajiki. Take us to Inferno in Uehajiki. Take us to the Labyrinth.
Did you have any place in mind?
Do you want to take us? Hey, Angie, how's it going? Yeah, I did. Very much so, Katone. Kimazuka's eyes went wide. Do I have a glimpse into a young lady's mind, he asked?
Look, I'm sorry, but we're in a big hurry here. Don't make me have to repeat myself.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Very well, then here goes. Kimazuka cleared his throat and adopted a look of artistic intensity. I just kind of want to get a bad ending. I want to say it, but I can't say it. I thought today might be the day, but when our eyes met, it felt so cold. I'm wandering alone in the labyrinth of love. Why can't I just share how I feel? Look back my way. No, don't look. Wait. No, don't look back. If I do ever share my feelings, what happens to us then? That's a river we won't be able to uncross. I want to wreck things, but I don't really want to wreck them. I'm sorry for pretending to be so upset. I want to get some distance, but I can't get that distance. I can't do this over the phone. I want to forget, but I can't forget. That day about half a year ago, it was such a trivial thing, and yet I treasure it even now. I want to say it, but I can't say it. Even if I did, even if I could, like a shell caught in the pounding surf, caught and tumbled back and forth. More than friends, but not quite lovers. Not quite lovers, but more than friends.
My apologies, Mr. Kimazuka. I should have repeated myself.
To slam poetry, yeah. Minorukawa just asked, do you have any place in mind? Do I have a glimpse into a young lady's mind? And he just started repeating off poetry.
To Inferno, in Harajuku, if you would.
Very well, sir. Nice. Look at him! Whoa! He's airborne. Flying car indeed. As soon as Minorukawa and the others had climbed into the cab, Kimazuka tore off through Shibuya's network of narrow side streets. The passengers in the backseat jostled roughly back and forth to the sound of screeching tires. This is altogether far too excessive, Katayama murmured, wincing as his head bounced repeatedly against the window. To think we allow such inconsiderate driving here in this country. Chiaki, meanwhile, had opened her laptop and was somehow working furiously to finish her copy. The sound of her fingers clicking across the keys echoed within the vehicle.
How's it going, Chiaki?
Minorukawa asked. Just a little more. Her eyes were glued to their monitor, her face all seriousness. Kimazuka glanced over at Minorukawa. If I may ask, sir, what business do you have at this bar?
Just a little interview. I hear a local gang called SOS uses the place as their big hangout.
You're interviewing SOS? Sir, I feel it might be best not to get too involved with that lot. There's something about the driver's warning that seemed a little off.
Do your taxi driver connections tell you what SOS is up to?
Minorukawa asked. Originally, there was something of the Vigilante Corps, in the name of keeping the neighborhood clean and safe. But lately, I heard nothing but bad things about them. Those lone sharks had said something very similar. Minorukawa reminded himself that he'd better be on his guard. Kachema chimed in. And just how do you plan to go about interviewing a gang like this?
That's nothing for you to worry about. I have a plan.
Oh, and just what exactly is that plan? Look at how dapper this guy's looking. This guy's looking so clean.
It's a secret.
Kachiyama gave him a derisive grin. Clearly, he wasn't impressed. Minorukawa turned to look at Chiaki. She appeared too engrossed in her copy to even hear the conversation. I realize this is for work, Mizuka said worriedly, but do you really need to take such risks?
Yes, I do.
Minorukawa thought back to that look in Toyama's face, that look when he finally regained his confidence. He couldn't let Heaven Publishing go under. Toyama provided the canvas on which Minorukawa shared his art with the world. Thinking about it now, Minorukawa realized he'd always been chasing Toyama's shadow. Though it was galling to admit, that man had been the ideal Minorukawa strove to live up to. That was why he hated seeing Toyama reduced to such a pathetic state. He wanted Toyama to remain indomitable, to keep bustling down any and all obstacles in his own peculiar way. Still, Norikawa wasn't about to voice these feelings aloud. He felt more than a little embarrassed to be taking it all so personally.
When you take on a job, you give it 100% every time. That's what makes you a professional, he said. Wouldn't you agree?
I do indeed, Katayama chimed in, but you'll have to demonstrate that 100% in the limited time you have left, which, by the way, is 51 minutes and 30 seconds, and I will not budge in the slightest on that submission deadline. Please do keep that in mind. The man took another look at his watch. I got half a
mind to break that thing, Minorikawa told him.
Breaking my watch will not stop time. Minorikawa shot him a furious glance, but Katayama's composure was unwavering. Dude's cocky. I like him. The guy was unflappable. The only way Minorikawa was going to be able to put him in his place was to beat his damn deadline. Easier said than done, though. He wanted to use 30 of the 51 minutes he still had to write his article. That only left him 20 or so to get the material. Kimazuka suddenly slammed on the brakes and the cab skidded to a halt. Minorikawa stared through the windshield in shock and saw a smallish box minivan weaving erratically along the road. Whoa, look out! That thing's heading our way! It's the blue minivan! Is that a blue minivan that exploded? Don't worry, sir, the driver replied. Just leave this to me. Keeping his cool, Kimazuka dexterously steered them clearly off the oncoming vehicle. As the minivan sped past, an eerily cold breeze wafted over the taxi.
What the heck was that? Minorikawa asked.
I'm not sure, Kimazuka said, but let's hurry on our way. Nimbly manipulating the gear stick, he stomped on the gas once more. Interesting. It's another blue van. Excuse me. A lot of blue vans? I mean, true, but... Very, very true. Also, yeah, we only still have 2 characters right now. Like we didn't play. We haven't even began to play as Achi yet. Here we are, sir. Inferno. They pulled up outside of a dilapidated old pool hall.
You're a lifesaver.
Minorikawa clapped a hand on Kimazuka's shoulder. Just be sure to be careful, sir. Minorikawa nodded. Huh? What? Chiaki asked, looking up. What are we being careful about?
Nothing, Minorikawa said. You just wait here in the car. You still gotta get that copy to finish up, yeah?
Well, yeah. Alright then. Chiaki frowned but resumed her typing.
And you wait here too, Minorikawa said to Katayama.
But of course, that goes without saying. Incidentally, you have 49 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. Minorikawa did some quick mental math. With the half hour he'd already set aside, that left him 19 minutes. However dangerous SOS might be, he couldn't afford to hesitate for even a single second. Bracing himself, he stepped out of the taxi and headed for the pool hall. Alright, let's do this. Phew. Minorikawa took a deep breath as he approached the grimy door.
Here goes.
He drew his leg back and gave the door a healthy kick. Oh, we dead. We so dead. We gonna die. We are totally... They have alcohol? We totally dead. Minorikawa, rest in peace, my dude. You're gonna get a cigarette shoved in your fingernails. The mob of young men inside the bar turned as one at the sound of the door crashing open.
Who the hell are you?
I have cigarettes too? Damn. Several of them started toward him belligerently.
Just calm down and hear me out, he said. I've come to interview you.
Interview us? What the hell for? These were hot-headed punks, alright. They seemed to be itching for a confrontation. Minorikawa felt like a punch might come flying his way at any moment. Then another voice called out from further back. Hold up, guys. Susumu. It was a young man seated in the far back corner of the bar. His air of authority marked him as the gang's leader. This must be Susumu, then, Minorikawa thought. When you say interview, do you mean for TV or like a magazine? Mind telling us who you are?
The name's Minorikawa. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm doing a magazine piece about young people in Shibuya. All I'm asking is just for you guys to answer a few questions.
Here's the answer to the science quiz from last time. It's methane. I think I put methane. I had a card. The card was somewhere. So by the way, if you answered methane, congratulations. You are correct. I feel like it's gotta be somewhere over here. Right. It was somewhere around here. I know I put methane down. Yeah. Swamp gas for the win. Methane has been tapped as a potential new energy source to replace fossil fuels or atomic power, but there are concerns about its tendency to exacerbate the global warming process. It's extremely flammable. The methane produced by food waste has been known to cause garbage trucks to catch fire. Crazy. Susumu sounded less than enthused.
Just 5 minutes, Minorikawa said. What do you say?
Nah, I'm not in the best of moods right now. Go on, get out of here. Right, Minorikawa thought he was going to make things difficult, but he hadn't expected these troublemakers to just up and accept an offer to appear in print. Now was when the real battle would begin.
Guess I'll just have to write my piece without your help then.
Susumu took the bait and shot him a look. Right about what exactly?
Your little warehouse raids.
Warehouse raids? Susumu raised an eyebrow. What are you talking about?
Really now? You're gonna tell me you don't know your boys are dealing in stolen goods?
SOS doesn't steal, man. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh yeah? Why don't you ask those two over there?
He spotted the two fellows he'd seen arguing earlier at the scene of the explosion. Now he pointed them out. Their faces betrayed their alarm. Susumu glared at them. Is this true? They averted their eyes and said nothing. I asked you a question. Have you been stealing stuff? After a long moment of sure hesitation, both young men nodded. You idiots! Susumu marched up to the duo and without warning decked them both. How dare you sully the SOS name? As the two gang members cowered, he continued to punch them repeatedly.
Okay, enough of the beatdown.
Minorikawa stepped up to intervene.
Let's get down to business here. I won't reveal anything about the warehouse raids. In exchange, you give me my interview. How's that? Not a bad deal, I'd say.
Yeah, true. Very true. But Susumu ignored him, continuing his pummeling on the pair.
Whoa, hey, nobody's gonna play nice with the guy who flies off the handle and beats up people, you know?
What'd you just say?
Well, look at yourself. You're clearly not the cream of the crop here, kid.
At that, Susumu's fists finally fell still. The rowdy bar went completely silent. Say that one more time, I dare you. I'll put your ass on the ground. The gang's leader's eyes were red with rage. Minorikawa started, unafraid.
That's the exact sort of line I expect from a total wuss who's a vile bark and no bite.
Shut your damn mouth. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, this is hilarious. SOS's top dog is such a yappy little puppy.
Susumu snarled like an animal. You son of a bitch. I'm going to beat your ass.
Mr. Mino, I'm all finished.
An exuberant voice resounded suddenly through the bar. Cheerful and full of energy, originally the term indicated as a state of bubbling or boiling, so it's effectively a fancy way of describing someone as bubbling. Okay.
Jackie!
Minorikawa looked and saw that both she and Katayama had appeared in the doorway. I finished my copy. Could you please look at it over for me? Chiaki, I'm about to get my face punched in and kicked. Can you give me like 2 seconds? That way when I'm coughing up blood, I can check it. It'll be fine. She thrust out her laptop proudly. Susumu stared in bewilderment. Who the hell are you? Oh, I was under the impression you SOS folks were being interviewed. Chiaki broke off haltingly. Yeah, you're right about that. One by one, gang members started to close in around her. Well, it's just, you look like you're really angry is all. Oh, do we now? That's because we are pretty damn angry. Good grief, Katayama groaned. It would seem that getting your interview is quite impossible. By the way, you only have another...
You shut up!
Minorikawa snapped as Katayama appeared at his watch.
Just leave this to me. You two hurry up and get out of here.
No way, Chiaki said.
What? Why not?
Because I want you to read my copy, Mr. Mino. She looked him right in the eye. This is no time for an editing session. He had to wrap up the SOS interview and fast. He didn't have much of a choice. He postponed the interview to read over Chiaki's copy. He understood how she felt, but this place was too dangerous. It was time to get Chiaki and Katayama out of here. Let's, the printer's kung fu answered. True. He understood how she felt, but this place was too dangerous. It was time to get Chiaki and Katayama out of there.
Look, you guys need to leave. I'll give it a close read through later.
He gestured to the exit with his jaw, desperately hoping that they would take the hint. Hey, we could read it for you instead, Missy. SOS members swarmed around Chiaki and Katayama. You writing some smutty novel or something? One of the young men reached for Chiaki's laptop, grinning ear to ear. Knock it off! Don't touch that! She struggled to resist.
Leave the girl alone, you scumbags,
Minorikawa barked. The young men in the bar stopped and turned. Susumu was quick to respond. Screw you, man. Who are you to call them scumbags here?
Any guy who raises a hand to a lady is a scumbag. If you're looking for a fight, you can fight me. Just get your hands off the girl.
Oh, he loves Chiaki. Minorikawa did his best to look unafraid as a couple dozen vicious gazes now turned back on him. Bring it on, Susumu said. Hey, someone go stand lookout for front. He snapped his fingers sharply. Get him. At the signal, Susumu's men quickly closed in on Minorikawa. It was like being caught up in a tsunami. He took a hard punch to the face and his vision went blurry. Before he could react, he was hit again, twice, with punches and kicks. The moment his first assailant paused, another joined the assault. 4 blows, 5 blows, 6. Murakawa lost count somewhere along 30. Hi, Punny. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? A metallic taste filled his mouth, and he could feel his consciousness fading. All the strength was being battered from his body. He couldn't even tell if he was standing on his feet or lying on his back. Then finally, he felt himself crumple to the floor. Dang. Even then, the beating did not let up. As he writhed helplessly, the young men kicked him in the gut over and over. Stop it! He heard Chucky shriek. You're going to kill him! Well, he died. Rest in peace. There's a dog barking. Eventually, Murakawa forced himself to go limp. Finally, the kicking stopped. Oh, crap, one of the thugs muttered, sounding panicky. Did we take this a bit too far? Mr. Mino! Chucky rushed to Minokawa's side, sobbing. Please, she cried out. Answer me! He held his breath and said nothing. Mr. Mino! Tears streaked down her cheeks. She shook him desperately. Don't worry, he gasped out at last, holding up a hand to stave her off. She let out a yelp of surprise, staring at his battered face. He could feel boil trickling from the corner of his mouth. He turned his grisly visage on the gang members as he painfully rose to his feet. Abruptly, Murakawa broke into pearls of mocking laughter. Mr. Mino? Chucky stared at him aghast. They only laughed harder. It seems he took a few too many blows to the head. Poor thing. Katayama averted his eyes, unable to watch. Murakawa shot out an accusing figure out of the crowd. Looks like I win this round. What? Susumu blinked, dumbstruck. Don't you get it? Murakawa said thickly around his bruised tongue. What am I saying? You're a bunch of idiots. Now then, if y'all pardon me. Oh, I get it. Murakawa was halfway to the exit when Katayama's explanation rang out. You were planning all along to let these guys beat you up, huh? Murakawa jerked to a halt, his shoulders trembling. You knew they'd turn you down the interview, and so by letting yourself get beat up, you'd have something to put in an article, yeah? It's a bit bogus, maybe, but I guess it's one way to get material to fill your pages. Murakawa broke it out into a cold sweat. Shut up, you idiot! But Katayama continued with his oh-so-brilliant analysis. You sure pulled a fast one on this gang here. I wonder what sort of headline your piece should have. The twilight of Shibuya's legendary street crew, former vigilante squad, now mere gang of common thugs. Something like that, maybe? Katayama! Susumu stared daggers at Murakawa. Go on, I dare you to write that up. That would really put your ass in the ground. He moved to block the path to the door, clutching a broken beer bottle in one hand. You moron! Murakawa bellowed at Katayama. I was this close to pulling it off! Well, that's a shame, isn't it? Katayama replied. Murakawa rolled his eyes. Gee, you think? Susumu slowly advanced on that beer bottle at the ready. Incidentally, Katayama said, you have 40 minutes and 7 seconds left. Good luck. Murakawa hung his head. Was everything futile at this point? What? Hopeless, pointless, ineffectual, not to be confused with feudal, which refers to the socio-political system of the Middle Ages involving lords and vassals and fiefdoms. Also, I think somebody... somebody just opened the door. Who just opened the door? Alright, cool your jets. I'd say that's quite enough. Kimazuka! Susumu stopped and spun around. Kimazuka had entered the bar. The taxi driver stared out sternly from behind his sunglasses. All the young men in the bar fell silent. Murakawa's companions exchanged glances. Oh man, you! Susumu's face twisted up in awkward embarrassment. Kimazuka's tone was light and playful, but intimidating nevertheless. Whoa, hey now. That's no way to address your teacher. He taught the SOS kids? Teacher, Murakawa blurted in disbelief. Kimazuka nodded. Yeah, until last year I used to be a teacher. I got into a bit of a dispute with my school, so I moved on. These guys in here are all former students of mine. Sorry that there's such a bunch of good-for-nothings. Wow, Chiaki said. Never guessed. What? I thought since I wasn't their teacher anymore, it wasn't my place to butt in. But then I couldn't sit idly by and let one of my customers take a beating. Mizuka turned back to Susumu. This guy totally played you, every last one of you. Susumu bit his lip in frustration. Still, it's hard to imagine anyone would want to take a beating from this many guys all at once, so it's hardly your fault for falling for it. Kimazuka had switched gears from taxi driver to street smart's mentor. You guys lost this one, he said, and for that, you need to give him his interview. No way, Susumu looked disgusted. Look here, kid, Kimazuka said. Let yourself save some face and help the man out. Maybe you won't come off as a bunch of total idiots in his article. He flashed an amicable grin. Well, when you put it that way, fine, alright. Susumu blew out his breath in resignation. Susumu, you can't let yourself cave like that. Susumu, you can't let yourself cave like that. The remark had come from a particularly nasty-looking young fellow who slouched on the bar sofa. Murakawa recognized him, the kid he'd encountered earlier that afternoon, wandering around with a wooden cudgel. You shut up, Kiryu, Susumu said. So what, you're just gonna let the SOS make a mockery of itself, Kiryu demanded. The gang leader let out an annoyed growl but said nothing. And you still think you got what it takes to run Shibuya. Shut up! I've already said I'll do it. Kiryu sneered suddenly at Susumu's outburst. I guess flipping him off, too. He was doing the whole, Mr. Mino! Minorukawa was just letting out a sigh of relief at being able to get his interview when Chaki scurried back to him. Please, can you read my copy now? Her face showed a strange mixture of confidence and unease. Alright, he said resignedly. Let me see it. The proofreading deadline was drawing steadily nearer. Still, if the piece wasn't good enough, he'd have to make her rewrite it again. He wasn't going to compromise in quality. Bracing himself, Minorukawa stared at the monitor. Chaki swallowed hard, so anxious that it was audible. I just realized something else. Oh my gosh, I just realized something else. I'm so excited. And kind of scared, but also excited. Also, it's all frilly. Minorukawa gave the piece a fast once-over, then read it again more closely. When he was done, he closed his eyes, considering. Chaki held her breath, waiting for his response. It's okay. She looked back at him blankly for a long moment. Really? It's really okay. Is it really, really okay? It really is really okay. Minorukawa watched in surprise as she broke down in tears. Oh, thank you so much. Chaki bowed profusely. He gave her an affectionate little ruffle atop her head. She wiped at her face with her palms, scrubbing the tears away. So I guess I never really told you what sort of articles I want to write and all. No, I don't think you have. Well, I mean, I want to write socially conscious exposés like you do, Mr. Mino. And so, to hear you say that an article I wrote is okay, that makes me really, happy, I guess. Or maybe moved? Her eyes were still bright with emotion. Well then, really? There was actually another writer who took inspiration from his work and who strove to be like him. Minorukawa never thought a day like this would come. It was a peculiar feeling. He'd always been the follower, chasing after interviews in order to be more like Toyama. It made him feel both bashful and proud that the skill and soul he'd honed might be passed on to the next generation. Aww. Right, I should be off. Kimazuka gave Minorukawa a slight nod. Minorukawa returned the gesture, but more deeply. You really have been a tremendous help today. I'm not sure where I'd even been right now if you hadn't been there for me. Oh no, not at all. I was just driving a customer around to where he asked me to go. Oh, that's right, I still owe you a fare. Opening his wallet, Minorukawa saw he had only a 10,000 yen bill. Still, now was no time to be frugal. Keep the change, he said as he handed it over. But even as he said, Kimazuka was already handing him some money back. Here, I insist. The driver had already counted out the exact change in advance. You really are a pro, huh? Minorukawa took the money and stuffed it into his pocket. We'll meet again, somewhere out there on the streets of Shibuya. Kimazuka pointed his index finger at Minorukawa's face. Minorukawa responded in kind. Dope. Kimazuka, coming in clutch! After that, the interview with SOS went off without a hitch. Now that the tension was diffused, these were just a bunch of ordinary young guys. The juxtaposition of their appearance and their behavior would make for an interesting piece. So about what you said earlier, Susumu said once Minorukawa had finished his questioning. About how I'm not the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, that. I just said that to get you worked up. Don't worry about it. Well, let me just ask you what you really think then. How do you think I could be a better leader? I don't know. I'm not really the sort of guy who wants to stand at the top, you know? But I could tell you 2 things that'll make things go more smoothly with you and your buddies. Susumu leaned in, listening intently. Forgiveness, and also trust. Minorukawa chewed over his own words. The events of the day replayed in the back of his mind. He'd forgiven Toyama for his fake suicide, and trusted that he'd regain his reporter's edge. He'd forgiven Chaki for her bungled interviews, and trusted that she'd grow as a journalist. In the end, that's what it was that had helped him through. Forgiveness, followed by trust. Susumu grumbled softly. Forgiveness and trust, huh? Doesn't sound so easy.
People gravitate towards somebody who can handle things when they get tough.
With that, Minorikawa got to his feet.
Now we've got all the articles we need covered.
Jackie rushed over to his side.
Well, I guess we still need Mr. Toyama's piece.
I just got off the phone in my office, Katayama said casually. It seems they've already received the data from him.
Well, what? Guess he really can get the job done when he applies himself.
Minorikawa felt an inner surge of pride.
Now then.
He indicated Katayama.
How much time do we have left?
30 minutes remaining, Katayama replied, eyeing his watch.
30 minutes, huh? Looks like we might make it after all. Chucky, laptop.
Right. With a beaming grin, Chucky held out her computer. Minorikawa got ready to start typing, but then a young man barged into the bar. It's Achiendo! He's come to ask the members of SOS to help him with the planned operation down at the Scramble. Okay, we can't go there yet. The newcomer hurried over to where Susumu was sitting and promptly prostrated himself on the floor. Whatever this was about, it looked like a big deal. Who was this kid? The gang's feelings looked decisively mixed. I need people to bring a guy down. I'm here to ask for your help. I know I have no right to ask you this, but please, I really need your help. As Minorikawa listened to the young man's conversation with Susumu, he could feel his blood start pumping. It sounded like they were talking about the terrorist plot in which Shibuya had become embroiled.
Hey, Jackie, he said quietly. Did you hear that just now?
I did. I'm not sure I followed all of it, but I definitely have the whiff of a major scoop. Minorikawa shot her a daring grin.
So what's the play here, Jackie?
We interview him, of course. We only have 30 minutes left, right? So we take 10 minutes from our conversation, use our remaining 20 to write up the piece. I'll help you out. You learned good, kiddo. Minorikawa ruffled Jackie's hair again. They both brushed profusely, gripping by the surge of excitement. Why are you doing this? I can't make any sense of it whatsoever. Katayama stood peering at them skeptically. If you write up the piece you just did your interview for, you'll make your deadline. Why go out of your way to trouble yourself further?
It's no trouble, Minorikawa said. I'm just doing what a professional does.
The sleeves? What, this? No. Katayama let out a solemn sigh. Good grief. He looked at his pocket watch again, then snapped it shut. Well, if you aren't concerned about the time, then do as you like, I suppose. I'll admit you've made me quite curious to read this magazine you're putting together. Minorikawa and Chucky rolled their eyes as they turned away. Already, they were making their way over to Susumu and his gang. The interviews aren't over until you have what you need. You refuse to let them be over. You spend every last second you have to do the best job you can. That's what being a professional journalist is all about. Minorikawa cracked his knuckles and stepped between the two young men.
Sounds like you've got an interesting story. Mind letting me hear it too?
The gang's coming together, guys! The gang's coming together. Yo, we got an end! We got Minorikawa's end. End of his story, and... Yo. Oh, it didn't do it? I was totally expecting Minorikawa's like look to be just destroyed. Let's go to Kano. Because the only one we could access right now. Kano's cell phone rang. He saw Kuze's name on the display. Kano speaking.
What the hell are you doing?
The director's voice was shrill with irritation.
What's the situation with Murasawa?
I have her in custody, sir.
We need to get her into quarantine immediately. I'll send a counter NBC terrorism unit to pick her up.
A public safety mobile investigation unit belonging to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Public Security Bureau. The acronym MBC refers to nuclear, biological, and chemical threats. The unit not only gathers information and investigates terror incidents that make use of these means, but also deploys relief and safety restoration measures. Oh my goodness. A little bit, Cassie. I hope you're doing well. Here's a sheeple for you.
What's your location?
Sir, the situation is a little complicated at the moment, Kano replied. He and Stanley made eye contact. Kano gave him a knowing nod. He knew what he needed to do here. He briefly informed Kuze of the plan to take Maria to the laboratory, but was careful not to mention Alphard. Please, sir, Kano said, bowing reflexively to his phone. Let me handle this.
Absolutely not, Kuze exclaimed. There's no way I can allow that. Murasawa needs to go to quarantine right now.
The act of placing infectees in isolation, such as a medical treatment facility, in order to prevent the spread of infection. For viruses capable of airborne transmission, an airborne infection isolation room, AIR, is sometimes used, which employs negative air pressure to ensure the air from within the room does not leak outside. I think that's how they deal with the coronavirus right now, actually. Sir, please, just give us a little more time. Giving her the antiviral is the only way we can save her. If we put her in quarantine, it'll be the death sentence. Kuze let out a growl of frustration.
Kano! That isn't your decision to make.
Kano had run out of arguments. It was clear that Kuze's only concern was stopping the spread of the virus. Director Kuze, are you just going to let Maria Osawa die?
We can't put the lives of everyone in Shibuya at risk in order to save a single person.
I know that, sir. That's why I'm asking you to please let me go to that laboratory. If it looks like we're not going to be able to hack the password, then at that point, a quarantine can...
Kano!
Kuze snapped.
I'm giving you an order.
And I'm not accepting that order.
Listen, Kuze said. How many years have you been a cop?
What do you mean by that, sir? Kuze didn't reply.
Is this an order from a top? What's going on here, sir? Please, I need some kind of explanation.
Stop it. Wait. Oh, wrong voice. Is this an order from the top? What's going on here, sir? Please, I need some kind of explanation.
Stop it, Kuze said. You sound like a child. Even though my voice is a childish grown man. Shut up. This is dereliction of duty.
Call me a child if you want, but I'm not following an order that I know isn't right. He hung up. Kano punched the end call button with his thumb. From an objective standpoint, maybe Kuze was right. They needed to think about more than just Maria. If the UA virus spread throughout Shibuya, it would be a nightmare of epic proportions. Kano understood that perfectly clear. But still, he looked down at Maria's face as she lay collapsed on the floor. This girl was still alive, and Kano couldn't stand idly by and let a living, breathing person die. Consequences be damned, he wasn't going to be the one to weigh the worth of someone's life. As he stood, still clutching his cell phone, Stanley gently set a hand on his shoulder. You did fine, he said quietly. Alphard is in possession of the UA virus. The people of Shibuya are already in danger. He may have already released the virus in the city. If he hasn't, he may do so at any time. I keep changing Stanley's voice because I don't know what I want to do. I'm just going to give him like a southern, like a lower drawl voice. Right now, what we need to do is get to that antiviral and arrest Alphard. You made the right choice here. Thanks, Stanley. I appreciate hearing that. Stanley gave Kano a slap on the back. He was right. At this point, they need to focus on the things they can still accomplish. So guys, Achi stepped forward. Who's going to take Atomi's sister and Cannon to the lab? Maria's in no condition to walk, so they were going to have to take a car, which meant they needed a driver. I only have a motorcycle license, Achi said. I don't know where the lab is anyhow. I should go with Maria alone. I should go with Maria alone. Ken looked over at the others. There's no way of knowing for sure where she might be contagious. We shouldn't easily risk exposing more people to infection. She knelt down to gather Maria in her arms. Sorry I keep sniffling, it's just... I have a cold today. In that case, I should drive. Kano rolled around at the sound of a new voice behind him. Tateno! Tateno! Let's go! Tateno was standing in the doorway. You! Achi's face was red with rage. We'll not go to Achi just yet. Never mind, we're going to Achi right now. Apparently we're playing as Achi. It's like, oh no, we'll keep a Kano story. Apparently not. But Tateno's here, guys. Tateno is here. Let's go. You! Achi snarled. In the doorway stood the man with the cane. Detective Tateno? Tateno. Tateno. Kano and Daisuke spoke simultaneously. Now at last, Achi had a name for the assassin. It was a name he'd felt he'd heard somewhere before. You son of a bitch! Sorry. You son of a bitch! Achi roared. What the hell are you doing here? Tateno bowed his head profusely. I'm truly sorry. You're sorry? Sorry, don't cut it, man. Not after what you were trying to do to Hitomi. I don't expect you to forgive me, and I intend to turn myself in to be punished for my crimes. Before I do that, please, let me do what I can to help you.
I think you've helped enough.
Achi grabbed Tateno by the collar and drew back his fist. Kano moved to stop him, but Tateno held up a hand. No, it's all right. Let him do as he pleases. There's no trace of the menacing expression the man had worn in their previous encounters. Achi scowled, but lowered his fist, then released his hold of Tateno's collar.
Fine. Tommy's sister needs help, so we do need a driver right now. Make sure those two get to the lab and back safely. I'll make up for that punch I didn't give you just now.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I keep changing everyone's voices. I'm sorry, there's so many characters. Daisuke stepped forward.
No, I'm the one who should be apologizing.
I'm the one who got caught up in this. Daisuke, we really didn't grow up to be very good people, did we?
Nah, guess not.
The two men stared bleakly at each other. Shoulders slumped. In the end, Tateno said, I guess we were just trying to run away from our pain.
Yeah, I didn't expect my own son to be the one to teach me that.
Oh, she's turned out to be a fine young man.
He is Kotone's boy, after all. Guys,
Achi stepped into the middle of their solemn heart-to-heart.
You can get all sappy all you want later, Dad. Once this is all over, we're going to go see Suzune, okay?
Sure, Daisuke nodded heartily. I hope we can save Suzune, too. Hold on, Kano spoke up, turning to Stanley. If these two take Marie to the lab, and that leaves just us two to apprehend Alphard down at the Scramble, is that going to be enough? I mean, Alphard's not going to show up without a plan. The more people we have on our side, the better. I doubt we'll be able to get any help from the police. Hey, computer robots, how's it going? Probably at some point, but not immediately.
Good point, Stanley agreed. Hey, Achi said, I'm here too, and I'm going with you. I'll keep Atomi safe.
Oh look, good news, Kano. Now we have 3 people. Stanley let out a sardonic laugh. Kano frowned. Achi, I appreciate the offer, but having 3 people instead of 2 won't make much of a difference. When you're not sure the enemy's exact plan, you really need strength in numbers. If you could set up a dragnet like the task force did this morning, that would be ideal, but...
Come on, Detective, Achi said. Don't you have any idea what sort of approach the Psycho might take?
If I were Alphard, Kano mused, then I suppose my biggest problem would be figuring out how to get away after I've taken Atomi's blood. Stanley nodded in agreement. I'm betting he plans to involve the UA virus, he said. If, for instance, he tells us he's set up a device somewhere to spread the virus throughout Shibuya that prevents us from taking action against it. Achi swallowed hard. This guy wanted to unleash a killer virus in Shibuya? If he succeeded, then the town Achi had known and loved all his life would become a graveyard. Of course, that's merely conjecture, Stanley murmured. Quite frankly, even I can only guess what he's up to. His expression was grim.
Strength in numbers, huh? Achi said. So you're saying we absolutely need more people, is that it?
Essentially, yes, Stanley replied. But not just anyone in mind. If it's not a group that meshes well, it'll hinder more than help. Kano folded his arms across his chest. He looked perplexed. Hey, Lawrence, how's it going? People who mesh well together, huh? Achi had an idea. They could ask the police for backup. It might be a long shot, but it was their only move. Or we ask the SOS is the correct choice, but we're gonna ask the police. They could ask the police for backup. It might be a long shot, but it was their only move. He hurriedly suggested that, but Kano just shook his head apologetically. Fortunately, there's nobody on the force who will help us.
Well, isn't there anything you can do about that?
I'd hope that Director Kuze would understand, but Kano hung his head. Were they out of options then? No, there was still one last thing they could try. He knew the gang might see it as a selfish request, though. Susumu would probably be furious with him, but Achi would just have to deal with that. Even if his old pals wouldn't forgive him, if they understood that they'd been helping protect Shibuya, he was sure they'd step up and take action. After all, the whole point of the gang was that it was made up of people who loved their town.
Can you give me half an hour? I'm gonna try to see if I can rustle up some people.
Kano straightened himself up. You think you can do it? Achi nodded assertively.
Just wait here for me, okay?
He said to Hitomi. She gave him a worried smile. Alright, I'll be waiting.
It'll be okay, Achi did his best to sound reassuring. I promise I'll bring back some help.
Doing good. Putting on his shoes! Look at those clean shoes. I want a pair. He knew where he needed to go, the pool hall in Uharajuku. That was his old gang's main hangout. Running at top speed, he could probably make it in about 10 minutes.
Alright!
Alright! Rushing out the door with a battle cry loud enough for Kano and the others to hear from back inside the shop, Achi sped on his way. Another keep out? Nope. Traffic at Dogenzaka was at a mere standstill. Had there been some sort of major accident? As Achi ran along the roadside, he heard a middle-aged man screaming angrily. Got to be kidding me. What do you mean no trains are stopping at Shibuya? That guy was red in the face. It's Shizo! Shizo and Rumi. What the heck is going on? Achi felt compelled to stop and check things out. Calm down, old man. Achi ignored him and kept on running. Let's stop and check things out so we can get a bad ending. What the heck is going on? Achi felt compelled to stop and check things out. Calm down, Dad. The young woman with the man must be his daughter, then. How am I supposed to do that? You heard what the boys said. We have to get out of Shibuya right away. Whoa. Whoa, Achi got a look at the young woman's face. She was gorgeous. He had the feeling he'd seen her on TV before or something. She was probably an actress, but he couldn't recall her name. Well, Hachi muttered himself, he might be pretty, but you're no Hitomi. Dang! Dissing on Kano's girl! Poor Kano's girl. What's more, he broke out into a run. There were a whole bunch of people walking in the direction of Route 246. Looks like folks really couldn't use the trains right now. Was this some consequence of Maria being infected with the UA virus? Then I better hurry. We're the only people who can fix this. Yeah! With another cry to pump himself up, Achi bolted down the sidewalk, counter to the throng. I use the word throng a lot. I keep feeling I'm going to say thong. And then we're going to facepalm all together. Finally arrived at SOS's hideout. Two young men were standing by the door as lookouts. Achi recognized one of them. It was the kid whose so-called buddies had tried to take him down earlier that afternoon. They roused themselves as Achi approached. Hey, I need to see Susumu. No can do. He's in the middle of something right now. Lookouts made no move to let him through. Achi felt a surge of resentment towards Susumu. If he'd still been with SOS, he'd never tried to post members on guard duty like they were low-ranking Yakuza thugs. Achi pressed again. Please, I need to see him. It's important. Fine, then I'll have to do this the hard way. Achi forcibly shoved the two of them aside. Fine, then I guess I'll have to do this the hard way. Achi forcibly shoved the two of them aside. But the two recovered quickly before he could get in the door. They grabbed hold of him and pushed him away. Look, I don't have time to screw around. Just go and tell Susumu that Achi's here. At the mention of his name, the two lookouts exchanged wary glances. Alright, I'll go ask him. One of the lookouts headed inside, leaving Achi alone with the kid he'd helped out earlier. Did they always stick you on guard duty? The boy didn't reply. Back when I was in with SOS, we never needed anyone on lookout. We were just a bunch of guys who loved Shibuya, and who had a fun time hanging out with each other. That's all it was, really. It's not Susumu's fault that SOS changed, the boy said, somewhat fearfully. Lately, it's Kiryu who's been driving things. Kiryu? Oh yeah, that guy. Achi recalled his earlier run-in with him. The guy was an arrogant bully. Can we beat him the hell up, please? Please, can we beat him the hell up? Kiryu's planning to steal Susumu's throne. What for? The boy took a nervous look at the door before hurriedly continuing. He's trying to expand SOS's influence. He's got a lot of people on his side. Right now, the king is kind of split between two factions, Susumu's guys and Kiryu's guys. Finally, Achi understood what was going on. The gang members had been acting so weird because they were caught up in some kind of internal struggle. Kiryu goes around recruiting new followers by force, and if he doesn't like you, he dishes out punishment. This month alone, he sent 8 people to the hospital. SOS is a total mess, man. This plan of mine might not work after all. Achi felt a sinking sense of despair. If SOS was ravaged with infighting, it was doubtful the dangerous requests he had for them. But even still, I want to be a part of this gang, the boy muttered. Achi peered at him in surprise. Why? They shake you down for dues, stick you on guard duty. That's not a decent way to treat someone. I look up to Susumu. He treats me like he would anyone else, even though I'm way down at the bottom. It's not just me. Lawrence, there is 9 hours of 5 different stories going on. I really can't give a Spark Notes version of this right now. Like, there is literally ridiculous amounts of stuff. Oops. Like, it's crazy ridiculous. Just know for this story, there is a virus that's going to go out and kill millions of people. This guy's trying to recruit more people to take down the bad guy. Just know that for right now. That's all I can say. Susumu always puts members of his gang before himself. That's why I want to stick with this OS. Aha. So that's it, huh? Susumu really had been trying his best. And the members of SOS, some of them at least, admired him for it and stuck by him. Thanks, Achi said. The kid gave him a dubious look. Achi didn't know if Susumu would help him out or not, but he knew it was still worth putting their disagreements aside in order to ask. Yeah, pretty similar, Lawrence. but a lot worse. The door opened and the other lookout returned. Susumu says to come on in. Achi nodded and strode inside. Keep out. Alright, are we keeping with Achi's story or are we jumping to Kano's story? Because we can jump to Achi's story to continue things along. Or we can jump to Kano's story. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, Queen Cheese. Achi? Okay. So what's going on here? The door opened and the other lookout returned. Susumu says to come on in. Achi nodded and strode inside. So we get to see Midorikawa and Achi finally meet after long last. The scent of alcohol and cigarettes washed over him. Susumu sat on the sofa at the far end of the bar. It was where Achi used to sit back in the day. What do you want? Susumu asked immediately. Achi walked up to him and then got down on his hands and knees. Huh? What are you doing down there? The hell is this all about? I need people to bring a guy down. I'm here to ask for your help. The crowd around him flew up into an uproar. Peals of mocking laughter rang in Achi's ears. I know I have no right to ask you this, but please, I really need your help. Just some guy, huh? Who? He's an international terrorist trying to get his hands on some wonder drug for a killer virus. If we don't catch him, somebody I know is going to die. And that's not all. He might try to unleash the killer virus here in the city. Susumu burst out laughing. This is some kind of joke. You all right in the head there, Achi. The other gang members followed his lead, unleashing another storm of mockery. The laughter continued for quite some time. Finally, Achi had enough. Shut your damn mouths. Achi said nothing, he grit his teeth and stared up at Susumu. Let's just yell. Finally, Achi had enough. Shut your damn mouths! He roared loud enough to quash the mirror man echoing throughout the bar. Are you going to help me or not? Just give me your answer. He stared Susumu right in the eye. Susumu leaning close, peering down at Achi's face. Is that how you go about asking someone a favor? Susumu growled menacingly. If you have a problem with me kowtowing like this, I can apologize some other way, all you want. But don't you care that I just told you Shibuya is in danger? Achi's voice was unwavering. But face it, Susumu. Isn't Shibuya the reason everyone here hangs out with each other? If you're telling me you don't want to keep our town safe, then I won't ask you guys for anything again. I withdraw my request. The two glared into each other's eyes. But Midorikawa to the rescue? Yeah, that's our dude. Then, before Susumu could reply, an odd man stepped in between them. Sounds like you've got an interesting story, he said. Mind letting me hear it too. You again? Didn't you already get your interview? Didn't you already get your interview? Susumu rolled his eyes. I think Revels here might be telling the truth. The newcomer's face was all seriousness. It lines up with the information I have. Hey, Grovels, you got a second? My name's not Grovels, Achi growled. It's Achi. I'm Minoru Midorikawa, magazine reporter. I know a bit about the stuff you were saying just now. The killer virus you mentioned is called the UA virus. That wonder drug is an antiviral medication, and the person you know who might die is Marie Osawa. Am I right?
Yo! Midorikawa coming in clutch with the ideas. He says he backs up his story. Achi, he's gonna get help. Midorikawa just saved Shibuya.
Achi was almost too shocked for words. How do you know all that? Midorikawa ignored him and turned to the SOS leader. Susumu, he said. Something really is going down to Shibuya. What are you going to do about it, boss? Susumu bit his lip. He looked pretty conflicted. Sounds good. Sounds good to me, someone called out. Let's give him a hand. Achi turned to see where the voice had come from. It was Kiryu. What? You shut up, Susumu said with a glare. Break out of your rut, old man, Kiryu sneered. Achi was right. Isn't keeping our beloved Shibuya safe what SOS does? He slipped an arm around Achi's shoulders. You okay with that, right, Achi? Me going against Susumu's orders to help you out? Kiryu's lips pulled back in a broad, unsettling grin. But first, we have unfinished business, you and I. I mean, I'm willing to lend a hand even though you ditched the gang and all. Hey, what up, Spring? How's it going? But first, we gotta settle our score here and now. You understand, don't you? Yeah, you're right. Kiryu grinned hungrily. They're gonna fight! It's guillotine time! A bunch of gang members started up in a eager clamor at Kiryu's pronouncement. In a matter of moments, Achi was grabbed from all sides and hoisted up onto a pool table. A dozen young men held it on his arms and legs, positioning him so his head jutted out past the table's edge. Kiryu brought out a steel pipe near a meter long. It was cacked liberally with dried blood. Guillotine! 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 The men of Kiryu's faction pumped their fists in the air, chanting madly. You played this before? Really, Spring? See, all of the games I know you play are like Splatoon, Smash, and such, so I didn't think you played a visual novel. Interesting. It's a long time no see. I do hope you've been well. Kiryu licked his lips, as if drunk off their cheers. Glancing to one side, Achi-sama and Arikawa was speaking apathetically to Susumu. It looked like the reporter was trying to talk some sense into SOS leader. Man, today's my lucky day. I get to take the head of SOS's original head. Achi twisted his neck to peer up at him. Man, what point is there taking my head right now? Oh my, you don't get it, do you? See, if I send you to the hospital, everyone in Shibuya is gonna know my name. And once I got that big-ass sign over my head, I'll be able to unite this town under my banner in one fell swoop. I got you, Spring. I got you. Kiryu's eyes are crazed and bloodshot. And that's all the more reason for you to do as I'm asking. If you want to unite Shibuya, you have to protect it first. But if you think you need to take my head to do that, then go right ahead. Even if these guys were all like Kiryu, if this many of them actually showed up to Scramble, they'd be able to do far more than Achi could hope to do by himself. The ultimate goal was to capture Alphard. Achi didn't care how they made that happen. He was just sorry he wouldn't get to see it through, to protect Hitomi to the very end. Okay then, Kiryu brayed. The gloves are coming off. Go on, do it. Achi braced himself. Achi barked at the last second. No, wait, hold on. Go on, do it. Achi braced himself. Just make sure you keep your promise. Kiryu raised the steel pipe high above his head, and then, before he brought it down, he flicked the tip of his tongue from his mouth like a snake. You dumbass, I didn't promise you nothing. Achi strained in sudden panic, but his limbs were pinned down too forcibly for him to have any hope of avoiding what was to come. But the steel pipe never struck home. Just when it was about to smash into Achi's head, Susumu grabbed hold of it. The hell you doing? Enough of this crap, Kiryu. Susumu yanked the pipe from Kiryu's grasp and tossed it on the floor. Kiryu stood frozen in surprise, a vein pulsed angrily in his forehead. You guys too, Susumu added, glaring at the others. Let him go! The toughs holding Achi down cautiously took their hands away. Kiryu let out a red-faced cry of rage. But we got unfinished business! Ignoring him, Susumu helped Achi slide off the table. Every man gets to make one request in his life that cannot be denied. Do you remember saying that? The words stirred up some bitter memories with Achi. Yeah, I remember. But you didn't grant me my request. No, guess not. That's why I'm going to heed yours. No questions asked. Susumu held out his right hand. Susumu, you are... That'll make me the better man, finally. Achi reached out to clasp Susumu's hand in his. Yeah, Achi said, letting his relief show on his face. You're quite the guy. Hey, Susumu, let's go! Susumu cracked a tiny grin. It was the sort of smile Achi had seen all the time back when he'd run with SOS. Suddenly, Susumu staggered and dropped to the floor, falling too fast even to cry out. Kiryu had snatched the steel pipe back from the floor, striking Susumu from behind once his back was turned. To hell with this, he howled like a madman. SOS doesn't belong to you guys, not anymore. I won't allow it. Achi didn't flinch. SOS doesn't belong to anyone, he said. It's not mine, it's not Susumu's, and it isn't yours. We're just a bunch of friends hanging out and having a good time. That's the only reason we got together. Nothing more, nothing less. He turned and looked slowly around the room. Hey you guys, do you all get together because someone told you to assemble? Do you get together to follow someone's orders? No, you don't. Of course you don't. The bar fell silent. Achi could see the young men who surrounded him exchanging glances. They could tell his words rang true. Kiryu saw it too, and it only made him more and more agitated. Shut up! Enough of the warm fuzzies! Hey, what up, Soda? How's it going? Welcome. Abruptly, he charged forward, giving the steel pipe a mighty swing. Achi managed to dodge the attack by a mere hair. If it had connected, the blow might well have knocked his head clean off. He quickly backed away. What's the matter? Kiryu taunted. How come all you do is run? The pipe crashed down into the bar top. Bottles of beer and liquor smashed and scattered. Did I actually sleep? I did. Yep. Come on, what's the matter, Achi? Kiryu slammed his weapon to the pool table, sending balls scattering across the floor. Some of them collided with Susumu. Susumu let out a faint groan. Smirking at the sound, Kiryu stalked toward him. Speaking of unfinished business, with a screaming grin, Kiryu took aim at Susumu's head, lifting the pipe up high. Stop! Before he could think better of it, Achi was rushing for his fallen friend. Heh, you dumbass. Without missing a beat, Kiryu shifted his wave and swung his steel pipe at Achi's temple. Achi responded with a fast high kick with his right leg. The steel pipe connected hard with his shin, but it was Kiryu who went reeling off balance. Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, Achi! Kicking Kiryu's ass! Fuck yeah! Currently in stream chat? Oh, nice, nice. Well, hope you're having fun with Mon and Vian. Give Vian my good regards. It's been a while since I've said hi. I tend to lurk in his chats. I don't say anything, but I'm usually there for like an hour or two, just lurking, not saying a thing, and then Siren's like, aren't you in his chat? I'm like, maybe. So, Achi being a badass though, let's go! The blow struck home, Kiryu's head snapped back and he crumpled to the floor. There was a momentary hush of indrawn breath. Then the bar erupted in a wild clamor that practically shook the whole building. All eyes were fixed on Achi, marveling at what they had just seen him go down. Sounds like folks were hoping for a little more of a fight. Susumu got to his feet, his left hand clutching his right shoulder. You alright? You alright? Achi asked. Mostly. I guess my shoulder took the brunt of the blow. The gang members from Kiryu's faction rushed to their unconscious leader's side. Achi shot them a steely glare, and they gathered up Kiryu and dragged him out of the bar. I didn't go too far here, did I? Achi asked Susumu. Is this gonna cause trouble for you? No, I figured Kiryu would pull something like this eventually. It was just a question of when. Right. I'm sure he's going to go gather up his own bunch after this. We'll probably wind up butting heads again. Susumu didn't sound especially eager for that fight, but he didn't sound especially afraid of it either. Welcome back, Sparky. Achi was still worried about a few things, but his friend had clearly grown as a leader. Anyhow, back to that story about you needing some manpower. Would the guys here be enough? There were around 30 gang members still in the bar. Achi looked each of them in the eye in turn. Some he knew from back in the day, while others were fresh faces. I was born and raised in this town. I'm fond of the friends I met here, and this has always been a great place to have a good time. And today, right here in this town, I met someone who's very special to me. And I know this doesn't involve the rest of you, but I'm willing to protect her. Achi knew he wasn't doing a great job of getting to the point, but the members of SOS listened quietly. Look at the team. Look at the team! Look at the team! It's like he felt like a grade schooler who didn't know the answer to a difficult question. He fussed with his hair and frowned sheepishly. Okay, so I'm not sure how to really put this, but Shibuya is a special town to me because of getting to meet people like that. And maybe... No, I mean, it is like that for you guys too. Don't you love Shibuya? So help me help this town. He bowed low and deep. I want to protect this girl who means so much to me. And the city that means so much to me as well. I know my answer. Susumu clapped a hand on Achi's shoulder. Listen up, everyone! SOS's original founder is back in action! Let's go! Let's go! He needs our help, and I, for one, am ready to follow him into battle. What do you say? Susumu people let out a hearty cheer. Did it. Yo, I'm stoked. He made it back. When Achi marched back into his house, followed by 30 members of his old gang, Hitomi and Kano were obviously overjoyed to see him. Their happiness raised his own spirits unexpectedly high. He felt a palpable sense of accomplishment. Alright, Detective, Achi shouted. Let's do this! His resounding cry echoed throughout the workroom, and the gang set out for the scramble. What's the matter? Hitomi asked Achi as they made their way through the busy streets. What's the matter with what? You look pretty pale. She peered good and hard into his face. Do I now? Are you tired or something? I mean, you've kind of been going all out all day long, after all. Nah, it's nothing. Achi kept his voice nice and bright. I'm just a little hungry, is all. So don't worry about me or Alphard either, okay? I swear, I'll keep you safe, Hitomi. Alright. Hitomi gave a tiny nod. Just leave it to me. Alphard's got nothing on this guy. He thumped his chest in a display of bravado, but he could feel the sweat beading on his brow. He's worried. He's worried. When they reached the scramble, Achi took his place at the location specified by the battle plan Kano had drawn up. Hey Talon, how's it going? Welcome. Hitomi was only a few meters away. Whatever happened, he was in good position to shield her from harm. There were 3 minutes left until the appointed rendezvous. Achi wondered what sort of person was going to show up. Still, he knew he couldn't scan the crowd too much. He needed to act as naturally as possible so Alphard wouldn't be suspicious. He wished to glance at Hitomi. Maybe now wasn't the time for admiring, but he couldn't help but think how cute she looked. In some ways, seeing her there felt similar to when he'd first seen her that morning, in the very same spot. The difference was that this time, it wasn't just Hitomi's good looks that made him find her so attractive. They might have only spent a few hours together, but in that time he learned a lot about her as a person. He knew what was important to her, what her worries were, her wants and desires. And also he learned what a kind-hearted person she was, after she recalled what had happened back in the workroom. Even though her own life had been in danger all day, Hitomi had shed tears for his father and his sister. She really understood people's grief and suffering. What do I do if I can't protect someone as good as her? Ashi muttered under his breath, clutching his right leg. His shin was throbbing wickedly where the pipe had smashed against it. He'd only been okay walking so far, but any intense fighting in the leg might just give out. But he couldn't let himself worry about that now. If it came down to it, he'd be a human shield to protect Hitomi if he had to. Ashi looked at his watch. Only 1 minute to go before 7 o'clock p.m. He glanced again at Hitomi and saw her eyes wide with surprise. Quickly, he followed her gaze across the plaza. He spotted a tall white man approaching. No worries, Talon. Take it easy. Another keep out. But there's a tall white man approaching. Who is it? Seems like Alphard's on the move. Time to go to Kato. Tateto's now here, and Stanley, so let's see what's going on. Hachi's the man with the cane now, true. Hachi's protests were vehement, but he backed down at last. Tateto would escort Ken and Maria to the lab. That left three to try to apprehend Alphard. Kano, Stanley, and Hachi. Having only 3 people was a dicey prospect, though, so Hachi took it upon himself to head out and gather some backup. True, Queen Cheese, true. Tateto got the car keys from Daisuke, then helped Ken pick up Maria off the floor. Kano watched him warily. There was no trace of the blood-curdling expression the older detective had shown when he was holding Maria at gunpoint. His face was that of a man with a responsibility, the Tateto that Kano had always known. Are you sure you're okay with doing this? Hitomi asked Tateto. You might get infected. That doesn't matter. Don't worry about me. All I care about now is helping you two if I can. He hesitated, glancing down at the unconscious girl he held. By the way, had Maria's memories come back? Hitomi tilted her head. Her memories? I suspect she took a blow to the head when she was abducted. When I ran into her earlier, she didn't even know her own name. Well, she seemed like the same sister I've always known when she came in here. Good. Then her memory must have recovered. Kano was struck to hear that Maria had suffered amnesia, but he explained why she hadn't contacted anyone after she'd been set free. All right then, Tateto said. We'll be right back. Carrying Maria, he and Kennen headed for the door. Detective Tateto! Detective Tateto! Kano called out, then paused, tongue-tied when Tateto stopped. There were so many things Kano wanted to say, but he couldn't find the words for any of them. Once Maria's safe, I'll turn myself in. Tateto kept his back turned. The words were like a dagger in Kano's heart. Once this was all over, Tateto would no longer be a detective, but a criminal. Kano knew that there was no alternative, but still the realization hit him hard. Detective Tateto, Stop your dithering. But... Never lose sight of what you are supposed to protect. Ever. Those are the arc words of the series. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Kano stepped back to attention at Tateto's words. That was Dictum number 1, the advice that had kicked off the whole Dick Diary. I'm not the one you should be worrying about right now, Tateto continued. We need to save Maria-Osawa's life and protect the people of Shibuya. Kano bit his lip. Yes, you're right. Kano did his best to quench his emotions. I know that, but Kano still wanted to express his regret at how things had turned out for his idol. I know that, but Kano still wanted to express his regret at how things had turned out for his idol. You really are a terrible policeman, you know. Tateto gave him the bare hint of a smile, then headed out of the room. As Kano watched him go, he realized he really didn't have anything to say. God dang it, Queen Cheese. We haven't really gotten any bad endings, huh? That's interesting. There were only 30 minutes remaining until the time when Alphard had told them Hitomi should be at the scramble. They need to get ready for action. Is the surveillance is the surveillance camera system still up? Kano asked. Yes, Daisuke replied. It looks like what happened earlier was just a temporary hacking job. Then will you help us? Daisuke inclined his head. What do you mean? I'd like you to keep your eye on the scramble for us. If anyone suspicious tries to get near Hitomi, let us know. Anyone suspicious? I want to know what's suspicious. Like that organ trafficker who suggested you kidnap Hitomi, Mr. Endo. It's possible that it might be Alphard. Would you be able to recognize his face? Daisuke furrowed his brow deeply as he began entering commands on his keyboard. Yeah, don't think I could ever forget. It's because of him he left the rest unsaid. A moment later, several of the monitors switched over to feeds from around the scramble. Alright, Daisuke squinted at the images. I'm not sure how much I can be, but let me at least try to atone for what I've done. I mean, sure, Gitone. Of course, thank you. Dude's got all of his cameras going. Daisuke's fingers flew over the keyboard, and soon all of the monitors were focused on the scramble and its surroundings. Then he carefully adjusted the angle and zoom for each of the cameras. Now the whole area was under total surveillance. All they had to do was get their stakeout crew to the scene. Where did Achi go? Kano asked Hitomi. I'm not totally sure, but I think he went to find some of his old friends. Hitomi sounded worried. Friends? Achi used to belong to a gang called SOS. Actually, he told me he was the one who formed the gang in the first place. What? Kano couldn't keep the shock from his voice. Achi was the founder of SOS? How bizarre that the two of them would wind up meeting each other this way. But I guess there was a big falling out between them, so I think he went to try to win them back over. Kano hadn't heard anything good about SOS since Achi had left them. If things had ended on bad terms between him and the gang, getting them to help might well be a lost cause. And even if Achi was able to gather some people up, how much would Kano and the others be able to trust them? It'll be alright, Hitomi said, as if sensing Kano's thoughts. I'm sure Achi will bring back some of his old friends. And when he does bring them, I'm sure he'll choose people who can count on. You really trust him, don't you? Yes, Hitomi said without hesitation. Then a blush came to her cheeks. A blush! Oh, yes! Alright, then I trust him too. It would take about 10 minutes to get from electronics to the scramble. Kano turned to Stanley. Let's plan to head out by 6:50. Stanley gave no reply. He had withdrawn to the edge of the room, where he stood lost in thought, his expression uneasy. Kano decided to leave him alone for a bit. Taking a sheet of paper from one of the desks, he began drafting a plan for positioning Achi's reinforcements around the scramble. Alright, there we go. In about 5 minutes, he had drawn up a little map of the optimal places to deploy the team. Included positions for as many as 20 people Achi might bring back. Kano. Kano turned around, surprised to find Stanley right behind him all of a sudden. The American looked haggard. Is something the matter? Kano asked. You need to go to the scramble without me. What? Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Please don't ask me to explain. Something else has come up and I have to see to it. Sweat beaded on Stanley's brow. Whatever had happened, Kano had no doubt it was something major. And almost certainly it had something to do with Alphard. Stanley, Kano said. Please tell me we're past the point of keeping secrets. Understand, do what you have to, come back soon. Wait a second. Is this the part? No, something else. Sorry. Understand, do what you have to do and come back soon. I understand. Do what you have to do and come back soon. There's one thing I was looking out for. I don't think we've seen it yet. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. It's alright. I'll find a way to get by. Kano had a vague idea of what Stanley was up to. He probably felt he needed to keep things hidden even from his own allies in order to help keep Alphard in the dark. Or at least that was Kano's guess. Good guess. I feel like it's a good guess. That was no ordinary opponent they were up against. Keeping secrets even among friends wasn't necessarily a bad call. Kano, promise me one thing. What's that? Once this is all over, you'll go have a beer with me. Yo, we befriended Stanley! Oh my gosh! Best ending! We have a beer with Stanley. Best ending. We did it. Sure. Alright. Kano couldn't help but smile. That's a promise now, remember. The promise his team made just now mirrors another made by a certain pair of brothers in the past. Once this is all tidied up, I'm gonna need a drink. Let's you and me have a beer together. I suppose what the younger brother said, and the older brother still feels the pain of that promise going unfulfilled. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that red text? But wait a second, we don't know an older brother. Well, we'll see that in a bit. And with that, Stanley hurried out of the workroom. As you guys saw Stanley's face, I don't think we get him. Don't think we can get him yet, but soon. Kano glanced at his watch. It was coming up at 6:50. Pretty soon they'd have to head to the scramble, but Achi still hadn't returned. We need to head out soon, he said to Hitomi. You said 6:50, she replied. There's still 2 more minutes to go. Kano let out a tiny sigh. He shared Hitomi's fervent hope that the reinforcements would come, but not her confidence. If Achi didn't reappear, Kano would be left to protect Hitomi all by himself, and to try to apprehend Alpha on it as well. Would he be able to pull it off as it came to that? He'd just have to trust himself to see things through on his own. He decided to head to the scramble with Hitomi right away. Alright, I think this is a bad ending. Let's get it. He just have to trust himself to see things through on his own. He decided to head to the scramble with Hitomi right away. This wasn't about whether he could or couldn't. He would do it. He had to do it. There was no time for doubt anymore. Hitomi, I don't like having to do this, but we can't wait any longer. Seeing the look of determination on Kano's face, she gave a tiny reluctant nod. But it doesn't matter what choice we chose, because Achi and Susumu show up. Hitomi, I don't like having to do this, but we can't wait any longer. Seeing the look of determination on Kano's face, she gave a tiny reluctant nod. Her shoulders began to tremble. Hitomi, I'll be alright. I'm just a little nervous, that's all. She had a right to be nervous. Alfred was after the antiviral that she had in her bloodstream. Once he had it, Hitomi would become a liability that he'd want to dispose of. Guess so. And right now, the only person who could keep her safe was Kano. He clenched his jaw tight and tried to look confident. Please, just try to relax. I'll protect you with my life if I have to. Meanwhile, Achi and Susumu come in. Protecting Hitomi is my job. Yo, this music! Let's go! Achi, you're back. I said I'd see you through to the very end, didn't I? Yeah, you did. Hitomi gazed back at Achi with grateful reassurance. Ahem. Kano cleared his throat softly, but Achi and Hitomi continued to stare earnestly at each other. Eventually, the tough-looking young man standing behind Achi spoke back up. I've got 30. Will that be enough? Yeah, Kano nodded. That'll be fine. More importantly, have you heard what we'll be doing yet? Catch the bad guy, keep Shibuya safe. Same old thing we always do. The guy flashed a grin. You got it, Kano said. We'll be counting on you then. With the 30-odd people at their disposal, they'd be able to encircle the meeting area, no problem. The preparations were all set. It was time to confront Alphard at last. All right, Detective, Achi shouted. Let's do this! Kano gave a firm nod. Nine minutes later, 6:59 p.m., Kano and the others were in position around the scramble. Each little tick in the second hand was a sharp prod to Kano's nerves. His whole body was stiff with tension. They could not let themselves fail. There was too much at stake. Here and now, hundreds of thousands of lives were on the line. With Shibuya on lockdown, the area around the scramble had been seized by panic and there had been multiple traffic and collisions. The sidewalks were crowded with scared people. Overturned cars and abandoned motorcycles clogged the streets. Amidst the chaos, emergency vehicles sped by at furious speeds. But the fire and emergency personnel and even the police were short-handed, and the whole of Shibuya had begun to look like a war zone. The main roads had been blocked to normal traffic and trains were stopping at the stations. In effect, the city was in a state of complete shutdown. Kano glanced at it again at his wristwatch. 6:59 p.m. and 10 seconds. 11 seconds. 12 seconds. 13 seconds. 14 seconds. He scarcely remembered to breathe. Hitomi stood in front of the statue of Ichiko. She wasn't carrying a attaché case this time, but the moment was otherwise a strange mirror, the stakeout at 10 o'clock that morning. She looked terrified. Kano couldn't blame her. The criminals weren't after some case full of money this time. This time, they were out for blood. Her blood. So many people. Kano did a slow scan of the area. Achi was standing not too far away. His companions were strewn about here and there, carrying out as normal. Here in Shibuya, those guys fit right in with their crowd, and they had the area around Hitomi completely surrounded. Yet again, Kano looked at his watch. 6:59 and 35 seconds. 36 seconds. 37 seconds. 38 seconds. 39 seconds. We are so close. He forced himself to take several deep breaths. He focused on the sound of his own heartbeat and exhaled until all the breath was expelled from his lungs. And then it all started. Kano's cell phone rang. I've got him. It was Daisuke, the organ trafficker who derived the kidnapping. It's him. Where is he? Kano asked. Is he close by? I've got him on the camera now. He's on the other side of the intersection. Kano looked out across the scramble. There were so many people that it was hard to tell who was or wasn't suspicious. Can you describe him for me? The tall foreign guy, the one wearing glasses. It's not Stanley. It's not Stanley. We have met one other character who was a tall foreigner with glasses. Kato's eyes drifted over the crowd. Saw him for a brief second. It's Hitomi and Maria's teacher. Aha, there he was. And as he got closer, Kato's eyes went wide. This man was somebody he'd met before. Leland Palmer. Wow. Wasn't expecting it. A lecturer from the English department at Hitomi and Maria's school. Is he Alphard? Palmer was walking right towards Hitomi. Hitomi didn't seem to have noticed him yet. When Kato glanced back at his wristwatch, it was 7 p.m. on the dot. When Hitomi realized Palmer was approaching her, she was too stunned to react. He walked directly up to her, the corners of his mouth curling up into a smile. Hello, Hitomi, he said in English. Hello, Hitomi, he said in English. How are you doing? Professor Palmer? What are you doing here? Hitomi's voice came out in an anxious squeak. Why, I'm here to take your blood, of course. This time he spoke Japanese, and with an easy fluency totally different from his usual manner of speech. I'm the one who injected you with the UA virus. What? I'd been waiting so long for the opportunity to arise. It's been quite agonizing, you know, spending 6 months and more pretending to be a mild-mannered English lecturer. Professor, you're Alphard, aren't you? Let's get down to business, shall we? Neither of us have much time. Hitomi stiffened. Please, tell me the laboratory password. After I have your blood. This will only take a few seconds. I've got a device here that will make the extraction quite simple. No way. The password first. That would violate the terms you already negotiated. Hitomi and Palmer glared at one another. Alright, Hitomi said at last. Why don't you negotiate with Cannon instead? Cannon? Hitomi took her cell phone out and dialed. But the phone rang repeatedly and Cannon did not pick up. What's going on? Hitomi's face went pale. Come on, Cannon. Kato was standing near enough to overhear the conversation, grew increasingly anxious as he watched the pair stare at the phone. What was the right move here? Should he keep waiting? He had to hope talking to Cannon would work out. Kato waited for the call to go through. At this point, they couldn't count on Cannon anymore. Kato rushed to action. We have to wait for the call. He had hoped that talking with Cannon would work out. Kato waited for the call to go through. But Cannon never answered. Had something happened to her and Tetedo? Kato felt his heart pounding. Now then, shall I take what I came here for? Palmer took a step closer to Hitomi. Kato reached instinctively. Freeze! He drew his gun and trained it on the criminal. Nearby pedestrians scattered in fear. Seizing the moment, Achi darted in to protect Hitomi. Palmer let out a tiny sigh. So you're breaking the terms we agreed upon, then? I don't negotiate with terrorists. Kato inched his way closer, his point of aim never wavering. Hitomi shouted, call Cannon again! Hitomi dialed her cell phone. Palmer opened the attaché case he was carrying. One more move and I shoot, Kato shouted. But the terrorist ignored the warning, producing a small set of small glass vessels from within the case. If you want to shoot me, then shoot me, he said. Assuming you don't mind this getting scattered about. Is that? Surely you don't need me to explain. Stanley was right. Alphard had weaponized the virus. Doing his best to conceal his horror, Kato tried to sound defiant. How can I even know that's real? It was entirely possible this was all a bluff. Ah, indeed, these could all be a fake. Would you care to test that theory? Palmer flashed a coy smile, holding out his fistful of vials. He began to tilt them slowly back and forth, letting them clink against each other. They were fake. No, maybe they were real. Kato couldn't quite decide. He couldn't take any rash action if there was even a possibility these were the real thing. Did you come here to carry out a suicide attack, Mr. Alphard?
Hardly. I have no desire to die here. All I want is to get a little of this girl's blood and then go quietly on my way. But that all depends on you, doesn't it?
His face was overflowing with confidence. Cotton couldn't shake the feeling that something was off here. Something about this man's demeanor was hinted at something.
Well then, what will it be? Palmer continued. Will you condemn the people of Shibuya to death?
Cursing inwardly, Kato lowered his gun. Palmer flashed a triumphant grin, then resumed a stroll toward Otomi. She stood frozen on the spot. Susumu! The shout had come from Machi. In an instant, a dozen members of SOS headed toward Palmer from all sides. Tough luck, pal, Susumu said. Turns out we're not actually innocent bystanders. Now it's his turn to grin. You're completely surrounded. Give up and tell us the password now. And just for the record, we ain't scared no virus. The tough-looking young men radiated bravado. Without hesitation, they closed in around the kidnapper.
Surrounded? You certainly don't look like police.
Palmer casted a bemused glance around himself. You're right about that, Achi said. I mean, just take a look. I gathered up a bunch of people who love Shibuya more than their own lives in order to take your ass down. He kept Otomi shielded behind him while he spoke. There's no escape, he declared. You've lost.
Lost? Me?
Well, it sure doesn't look like you're going to get away. Palmer grimaced at Achi's words.
I see. Then it appears our negotiations are at a close.
Enough of this high and mighty act. Susumu stomped aggressively toward Palmer. Hey, Kato snapped. Easy now. They couldn't risk a scuffle sending the virus crashing to the ground.
What a shame.
Palmer swung his right arm up high. Everyone watched in dismay as his hand shot up. The vials had been holding sailed upward against the backdrop of the evening sky. Look out! Achi shouted. Catch him! Catch him! The tremendous splash blew Kato off to his feet. As he crashed to the pavement, searing pain shot through his entire body. He knew at once that a bomb had gone off. But why? It didn't make any sense. Alfred had no intention of carrying out a suicidal terror attack. Kato was certain of that. If that had been his intent, he could have just done it so at any time, without going through the trouble of putting on this whole charade. Was there some reason that this guy would blow himself up under these circumstances at this specific moment? As he lay dying, Kato had a thought. Could it be? Had Stanley not come to the scramble because he knew this was going to happen? Can we activate Stanley's story yet? Still no. Apparently, Katode true. Hey, we got a bad ending! A mysterious explosion. I can't check this! I can't check it! What's going on with Achi then? I guess, but like, it's gotta say there's a different option or something. Was this guy Alphard? The man arrived in front of Hitomi and began speaking to her. Hitomi, Maria, even Achi's father. This must be the guy who was responsible for everything. Achi felt a pressuring urge to flatten him right then and there. Still, he knew he couldn't blow his cover until Kato gave the signal. Suppressing his raw emotions, he readied himself for action. He hurt me, and I'll hurt him back. That bill is gonna come due. Protecting Hitomi had come first. I can't let anything happen to her. I have to set aside my hatred. Right now, I need to just focus on catching this guy. Let's do that. Right now, I need to just focus on catching this guy. Why hasn't it happened yet? Why hasn't Kato given the signal? Freeze! Suddenly, Kato rushed forward, his gun drawn. Ignoring the pain in his leg, Ashi dashed for Hitomi as fast as he could. He cut in between Kato and Alphard, quickly pulling Hitomi out of danger. Hitomi! Kato shouted. Call Kennen again! Shielded by Achi now, she brought up her cell phone and dialed the number. But some time passed and there was no answer. Had there been some kind of trouble on Kennen's end? Looking increasingly worried, Hitomi tried calling several more times. Then Alphard withdrew some strange vials from the attaché case he'd brought. Kato's face wavered with alarm. This had to be the terrorist trump card then. Kato and Alphard were having some sort of debate. Ashi couldn't hear the specifics, but tensions were clearly running high. Kato hesitantly lowered his gun. Alphard flashed a haughty, confident grin. Looks like it's time for a trump card. Susumu! Achi shouted at the top of his lungs. At a signal, the gang emerged from the crowd, moved en masse to help Alfred in. Surrounded? Now the terrorist was visibly at a loss. You certainly don't look like the police. You're right about that, Archie said. I mean, just take a look. I gathered up a bunch of people who love Shibuya more than their own lives in order to take your ass down. As he spoke, he made sure to keep Atomi shielded behind him. The pain in his leg was getting worse and worse, but he tried his utmost not to let it show. There's no escape, he declared. You've lost. Lost? Me? What sure does it look like you're gonna get away? Alfred grimaced at Archie's words. I see that it appears our negotiations are at a close. Why do you just still seem so confident? Something definitely didn't feel right. There's just a bluff. He knows he can't get away. He really doesn't care if he survives. There's just a bluff. He knows he can't get away. His only chance would be to try to spread the virus around and then take off while everyone was distracted. Which meant they needed to grab the guy and be done with it. Enough of this high and mighty act, Susumu shouted, evidently shared Archie's opinion. He began to stomp toward Alfred, but he didn't reach him in time. There's all the vials. The vials in Alfred's hands went sailing high in the air. Look out! Catch him! Catch him! Archie gestured for his comrades to fan out across the open space. Then, out of nowhere, a huge explosion blew Archie clean off his feet. His eardrums ruptured, and his world was engulfed in an eerie silence, as if time had stopped. As he laid crumpled on the pavement, the one thing that still rang in his ears was the tinkling of glass as countless vials smashed on the concrete. What a baba, how's it going? Damn. Another bad end. Number 72, a mysterious explosion. Not 65. How do I activate his story? Yeah, Achi, Kara, and Minorikawa. Yeah, I know it's a jump, but I can't activate any of the jumps. Yeah, let's choose this offerings. Please tell me we're past the point of keeping secrets. Please tell me we're past the point of keeping secrets. They come this far together. Sure, it was too late to get all tight-lipped now. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. Stanley dropped his eyes. Kato had a vague idea what Stanley was up to. He probably felt his need to keep things hidden even from his own allies in order to help keep Alfred in the dark. Or at least that was Kato's guess. Alright, I understand, Kato said with resignation. Do what you have to and come back soon. Apologetic look, Stanley turned and headed for the workroom. With apologetic look on his face, Stanley turned and hurried for the workroom. Kato glanced at his watch. It was coming up at 6:50. Pretty soon they'd have to head for the scramble. So this time it's without a jump. Hold on. What? Yeah, no beer offer this time. Do what you have to do. So there's some like small things. Because I can't jump to Stanley right now. So there must be something else that we have to do at a different earlier time, maybe. Teno's words. Yes, you're right. Kato did his best to quash his emotions. Yes, you're right. Kato did his best to quash his emotions. Them are good. Toteno gave a slight nod, then headed out the door. Detective Toteno! Just before the older man disappeared, Kato called out one last time, "Be careful out there." He gave him a silent salute. Kato gave him a silent salute. It was a breach of protocol to salute while in plain clothes and without his cap. Still, it was the best way he had to let Toteno know how he felt. I'll leave the rest to you. Toteno took one last look over his shoulder before finally leaving the workroom. By the way, our other person we could be is Toteno. Plot twist. Kyozo Toteno gingerly flexed his right elbow. It was still a little sore, but it shouldn't interfere with his ability to drive. Does that hurt? He asked the girl called Cannon. No, I'm all right. Good thing I didn't kill you, she said, her tone of matter of fact. You ought to thank that younger detective. If you hadn't stopped me, you wouldn't be here right now. So we have Teteno, but we need to still unlock Stanley. Cane Man is playable, true. Let's just start choosing different options to see if we get both of them unlocked. Be careful out there. Teteno flashed him a hint, smiled, and left the workroom. So that's not the choice. There were only 30 minutes remaining until the time Alfred would told them to be at the Scramble. Interesting. So maybe it's an Achi choice, right? Maybe it's an Achi choice. Yeah, well, I'm guessing that's the same thing with Stanley. He could ask SOS if there anything he could do was that. He could ask SOS if there's anything he could do was that. It was a selfish request to do that. Susumu would probably be furious with him, but Achi would just have to deal with that. Even if his old pal wouldn't forgive him, if they understood they'd be helping protect Shibuya, okay, he would surely set up and take action. After all, the whole point of the gang was that it made up for the people who loved their town. Can you give me half an hour? I'm gonna try to see if I can rustle up some people. Kano straightened himself up. Think you can do it? Achi nodded assertively. Just wait here for me, okay? He said to Atomi. Also, Teteno is no longer here. So we would choose the other option with Kano. Oh, wait, what? She gave him a worried smile. Alright, I'll be waiting. It'll be okay. Achi did his best to sound reassuring. I promise I'll bring back some help. He knew where he needed to go. The pool hall into Harajuku, that was his old gang's hideout. Running at top speed, he could probably make it in about 10 minutes. Alright! Okay, we've seen this before. Okay. There's a surprising lack of Teteno right now. Oh, because we chose the other one. That makes sense. What if we chose... Hold on, I have an idea. What if we chose to give him a salute... Took a minute before leaving the workroom. And after Teteno disappeared from my view, Kano remained for a long time at attention, his fingertip pressed to his temple. He squeezed his eyes shut, but still the tears he'd been holding back poured down his cheeks. Yeah, we know this. We still can't jump to Stanley. Maybe we have to go to Teteno first and then we can jump to Stanley? Let's do that. Let's play Teteno. Let's stay as Teteno and see what's going on. We also could hopefully figure out why Cannon didn't pick up the phone. Kyozo Teteno gingerly flexed his right elbow. It was still a little sore, but it shouldn't interfere with his ability to drive. Does that hurt? Asked the girl called Cannon. No, I'm alright. Good thing I didn't kill you, she said, her tone matter of fact. You ought to thank that younger detective. If he hadn't stopped me, you wouldn't be here right now. What up, Justin? How's it going? Is that right? Teteno looked over at Kano. He was talking to Achi and the others about something. The last time Teteno had seen Achi had been back at Kitono's wake. He felt a strong surge of emotion, seeing how the boy had grown into a fine young man. Are you sure you don't mind driving? Are you sure you don't mind driving? Cannon's voice snapped Teteno back into the moment. Yes, it won't be a problem. But when she attacked him on that rooftop, she moved too quickly for him even to get a glimpse of her face. Now that he was able to get a good look at her, he was shocked by how young she looked. Yet there was a cold gleam in her eyes, a glitter of awareness with no trace of emotion behind it whatsoever. In his long career as a detective, Teteno hadn't seen eyes like that before. It was a look he knew it well, the look of someone who had killed, and had done so many times. I'm sorry about all this. Please look after my sister, Toby said. She bowed deeply. No, I'm the one who should apologize. Teteno would have liked to go on, to say that in helping now was the least he could do to atone for what he'd done earlier, but he stopped himself there. Nothing he could say to Otomi Osawa could possibly earn her forgiveness. Silently, Tateno lowered his head. His subsequent actions would have to make up for his crimes. He had to hope that this was possible.
Canon, you look after my sister too.
Hitomi bowed once more. You two know each other? Tateno looked at the two girls in surprise.
Canon's my sister's friend, Hitomi said. I just met her for the first time today.
What strange series of events could have transpired for Maria and Canon to wind up as friends? Tateno felt a prickle of curiosity, but now was not the time for that conversation. Daisuke reappeared. He had gone to fetch his car keys. You know where it's parked, yeah? He asked.
Same as back in the day?
That's right. Over where we always hung out with Kutone back in grade school. All at once, Tateno was hit with a surge of childhood memories. The sky was a piercing blue. The droning of cicadas echoed in his ears. A refreshing breeze brought intermittent respite from the heat. During summer vacation, they spent their days here in the parking lot behind Daisuke's house. Welcome back, Sparky. As Tateno and Daisuke played near the stairs at the side of the lot, the blazing sun beating down on them, Kutone would always come along with some iced barley tea for them. The two boys would race to see who could drink the fastest. The cold and fragrant tea flowed down their welcoming throats. Most of the time it was Tateno who would finish first. Daisuke often wound up choking and spitting his out. Kutone would flash him a motherly and sympathetic smile. Then Daisuke would grin back at her sheepishly and flush with his hair. That had all been nearly 40 years ago, but Tateno could envision their smiles as vividly now as ever. They were his only fond memories of his childhood. Oh. Tateno took the keys from Daisuke, clutching them firmly in his fist. All right, he said. We'll be back. He lifted up Maria, and with Canon supporting her on the other side, began to head for the door. Then Kano called out to him. Detective Tateno, There was a look of sadness on the younger man's face. Don't let yourself be a detective like me. Tateno had the words right on the tip of his tongue, but he swallowed them back down. It suddenly seemed pretty petty to trivialize the aspirations Kano had held for so long. Once Maria is safe, I'll turn myself in. After he made sure that Maria got to the laboratory, he would cease to be a detective and instead would simply be a criminal. In Japan, a charge of plotting to commit the crime of murder carries a prison term with labor of not more than 2 years. True. True. But despite the failures that had brought him to this position, nothing he had said up until now had been a lie. Of that much he could be proud. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. He could at least try to be the detective Kano had so admired up until the very end. As Tateno left the room, Kano saluted him crisply. Ordinarily, the detective wouldn't salute a plain clothes or without his cap. The little breach of etiquette just showed all more clearly how Kano felt. If Tateno hadn't been holding Maria up, he would have returned the gesture. Aww. Tateno really does care about Kano. Leaving into electronics, Tateno and Canon carried Maria up a hectic Dogenzaka. The parking lot was less than a minute away by foot. Before long, however, they found their way blocked by a veritable wall of people. What? It was a riot squad with Kuze at the head. A police squad that carries out security control activities in order to maintain or restore public order in the event of an emergency. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department has 9 riot police units, along with a support vehicle unit, for a total of 10 such squads. These also comprise teams that carry out certain specific functions, such as the Explosive Ordnance Division and Chemical Defense Unit. Director Kuze.
Tateno, what are you planning on doing with that girl?
What are you planning on doing with her?
I already informed Kano that she's to be put under quarantine. If she's allowed to remain free, all of Shibuya will be in danger.
Kan took a step forward. Tateno could sense that she was about to move in for the kill. Easy now, he said softly. Wait. As skilled as Kanon was, she was no match for an entire armed police squad. I'm not going to take all of them on, she murmured. I'm just going to take the man in charge hostage. Tateno swallowed. Capture Kuze and then run off? It could work. Considering the time limit they were facing, he knew that they had to find some way to force their way through here. Still, given how far they still had to go to reach the laboratory, he wanted to avoid direct conflict as much as possible. Give me 1 minute. No, just 30 seconds. Tateno turned and stared at Kuze. The two had known each other since their rookie days. Director Kuze, tell me, what is it that you believe in?
What do I believe in?
Yes, weren't you always the one who said that you needed to put faith in your subordinates, no matter what?
Well, yes, that's right.
Kuze's eyes wavered ever so slightly. In that case, put your faith in me. No, put your faith in Kano.
In Kano?
He believes that saving Maria Osawa will let us save Shibuya. He's doing everything he can to make that happen. Kuze's lips curled into a wry grin.
That sounds like Kano, alright. Always thinking in such simple terms.
Usually the simple answer is the right one, sir. People like you and me overthink things. We make them more complicated than they need to be. Just consider for a moment, will putting Maria Osawa under quarantine clear up this case? No, it won't. So long as we don't know how she was infected with the virus, we can't rule out the possibility that other people have been infected as well. Tateno kept his eyes locked on Kuze's. Director Kuze, right now, what we need to do more than anything is get our hands on that antiviral drug. We need to be helping Kano. Please, sir. Kuze furrowed his brow in thought for a few moments and shook his head.
Tateno, buddy, come on, I can't do that. You gotta understand the position I'm in.
The director's words squeaked into his childish register. Cannon narrowed her eyes. What's this guy's deal? She whispered. See? He's got a childish voice. I was right. He literally look at Cannon's face right now. The fact that he does have a childish voice. He's a prepubescent kid. It's hard to explain. When his voice gets like that, it means he was being completely serious. They were going to have to break through by force. He was confused. Now was their chance to make a run for it. He was being completely serious. They were going to have to break through by force. Tateno took a determined step forward. Ugh! Suddenly, Kuze let out a pained yelp. Then, as Tateno watched in surprise, he proceeded to collapse on the pavement.
It hurts! It hurts! Have I been infected with the virus too?
The riot squad immediately rushed to the director's side. As Tateno stood there, dumbstruck, Kuze secretly flashed him a knowing wink. That was a terrible performance, Ken muttered. Kuze. Yeah, but it was a tour de force as far as I'm concerned. Inwardly, Tateno gave his boss a nod of respect. Slipping past the riot squad, he and Cannon had headed for the parking lot. Several members of Kuze's team hurried to chase after them.
Don't follow them, Kuze cried out as he was on the ground. Everyone stay back! If you get close to Maria Osawa, you'll be infected as well!
The riot squad stopped in their tracks. Tateno and Cannon took the opportunity to hurry out of sight. Darting through some narrow alleyways, they arrived at the parking lot. The area had changed since Tateno's youth, but some of the old era's nostalgia still lingered. There it is. He spotted the minivan with Endo Electronics written on the side. Tateno gently laid Maria on the back seat. She was still apparently unconscious. Once Cannon had climbed into the passenger seat, Tateno hit the gas and sped off. How far is it to the lab? Cannon asked. Normally take about 15 minutes, but with this traffic, it's hard to say. Tateno avoided the stop and go of Dogenzaka, taking side streets as he headed toward Shibuya Station. I mean, we've met him before. We've met him before with Kano. Uh-oh. Yeah, blockades. Once he had re-emerged on the main thoroughfare, however, he spotted a checkpoint set up ahead. Barricades and armored vehicles were blocking the road. A scale of the security effort showed just how grave the situation truly was. Tateno hit the brakes. I just realized that this is off kilter. What do we do? What do we do? Cannon spoke without taking her eyes off the barricade ahead. Tateno thought for a few moments before arriving at an answer. They talked their way through, they have to find another way around, they have to plow on through. Let's go! Plowing over people! Yeah! They'd have to plow on through. Get in the back seat, Tateno told Cannon. Why? I want you to hold on to Maria so she doesn't fall. A feisty grin came to Cannon's face. You got it. Cannon quickly clambered into the back and Tateno ground the accelerator. It's do or die now. Tateno clenched his teeth as the van picked up speed. Then a patrol car came roaring out of the nearby side road. What the? Reflexively, Tateno eased up on the gas. The police cruiser cut in front of the minivan, turning to head right toward the roadblock. Crashing into the barricade, it plowed on through, not stopping until it slewed up onto the curb beyond. Who's inside? The car's impact had made enough space for another vehicle to slip through its wake. Alright, here goes. The minivan barreled on through the checkpoint. I mean, true, Katone, very true. Tateno wondered who in the world had been driving the cruiser. Yeah, we're in GTA now. Tateno's phone rang and he picked up as he sped onwards. Were you able to break through safely? It was the voice of Detective Kajiwara. Toteno had thought he was at the Osawa residence. Kajiwara! Banana Boy did it! Banana Boy! Everyone's coming together! Kajiwara! Oh my gosh! This man is bananas. That is true. Everyone, hold on. Hold on. All right. I was hoping that word was home, but we got a banana. So we raise our bananas to you, Kajiwara. We raise our bananas. Bananas for the Kajiwara. All praise the holy banana. All praise the holy banana. All praise the banana. Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do for the banana. This goes to you, Kajiwara. Alright. We'll eat more of that later. That patrol car just now, that was you? A call came in from Task Force HQ saying that Kano had found Maria. I figured maybe Kano was planning to take her to Okoshi Pharmaceutical, and so I thought he needed to make his way through one of the checkpoints here. But the fact that it was you, Detective Toteno, haha, now that was quite unexpected. They let out a weak chuckle. Kajiwara, are you hurt? No, don't worry about me. Just please, help Maria. I made a promise to her father that I'd save his daughter, no matter what. He's bleeding from his head. Toteno could hear the energy draining from Kajiwara's voice. Understood. I'll keep that promise for you then. Thank you. The line went dead. Banana's out, man. Banana's out. Banana's out. Banana's out, man. By the way, to answer your earlier question, Katone, I'm very much out of shape, so I sprint down, but like I'm out of shape. I can't run for long periods of time without breathing, and I have breathing problems to begin with, so. He crashed headlong through the barricade. There's no way he'd come out of that uninjured. I'm sorry, Kajiwara, Toteno said to himself under his breath. Thank you. He bit his lip and then stepped hard on the gas again. Keep out. What? There's still more? I don't know where to go from here. Let's see if there's anything else we could do. What do we do? They'd have to find another way around. Get in the back seat to Teto to Cannon. Why? I want you to hold on to Maria so she doesn't fall. A feisty grin came to Cannon's face. You got it. Teto waited until Cannon had made their way to the back. Then he threw the minivan into reverse and jammed his foot on the gas. He cut the steering wheel sharply to one side. A loud screeching filling the air as centrifugal force made their vehicle tilt. And the patrol car came rolling out of the nearby side of the road. What the? Teto reflexively jammed on the brakes. The police cruiser cut in front of the minivan, turning to head toward the roadblock. Okay, so it happened again. How's banana? Nice. You've already seen this before. So we've seen this. Now where to keep out again. There's got to be a choice that we're missing for Stanley at this point. Calm down, old man. Archie ignored him and kept on running. Calm down, old man. Archie ignored him and kept on running. Did it matter if we listened to him or something? Nope. Maybe, so I have to choose like the right option, it looks like. They talk their way through. Wait here. I'm going to try something. What are you going to do? A little bit of persuasion. Totoro reached for the door handle, but Cannon stopped him. Don't, she said. Keep your eyes fixed forward. You'd just be wasting your time. But Totoro didn't get to finish his thought. This happened. Interesting. More chaos. Kajiwara crashing. Why can't we be Stanley yet? A final request. Wait a second. Wait a second. Take us to the labyrinth at Uraharajuku, a complex series of passageways designed to be difficult and confusing to navigate. A maze. It will indeed be quite easy to get lost or disoriented in place where Minorukawa is going and where you're going too. But any maze can be solved with enough effort. All you need is perseverance and wit, though talking frequent notes wouldn't help either. Best of luck. What? The labyrinth at Uraharajuku, you said. Kimazuka quirked an eyebrow. Is something the matter? No, nothing at all. Hurry up and get in. As soon as Minorukawa and the others had climbed into the cab, Kimazuka tore off through the Shibuya's network of narrow side streets. The passengers in the back seat jostled right back and forth, which we've seen together. Okay, we've seen this before. Let's keep going. See what we can find. Because we're going to the wrong place. Kimazuka glanced over at Minorukawa. If I may ask, sir, what business do you have at this labyrinth? Just a little interview. I hear a local gang called SOS uses the place as a big hangout. You're interviewing SOS? Sir, I feel it may be best not to get too involved with a lot. Okay. But I feel like... Let's see. Because Kimazuka might be able to figure out where to go. And Chaki's still typing. Because it must be something in Minorukawa's path, right? The legendary gang. Item 6, the legendary game. Is that where we're at right now? Like, there's some place where we have to get Stanley. But what are we missing in Stanley's side? Like, I feel like I've selected everything in Kano's to get to Stanley. I do agree. 51 minutes, 30 seconds. Break that thing, break my watch, will not stop time. Set the die, we'll use 30 or 51 minutes. So this is just a long lead up into the fact that we're at the wrong place. Some of the brakes, cabs get to halt, start the windshields while smallish boxy van, we have to go back to the foe. This is a blue van, not a white one. Hey, Civil, how's it going? New van's been passed. Oh, hello! A new thing. A vehicle is being driven by members of the Wandering Angels Theater Troupe. They're on their way to return the dry ice machine they used in their performance by Dender Electronics. The machine is malfunctioning, continually spitting out white plumes of carbon dioxide. The troupe members inside the van are beginning to suffer from oxygen deprivation and driving around Shibuya in a daze. Will they be able to make it to Ender Electronics in the end? Who knows? I did realize it was blue because it was blue on blue background. So we're gonna arrive at Labyrinth. Here we are, sir. They pull up outside of a dilapidated old pool hall. Your lifesaver, Minerva clapped a hand on Kimazuka's shoulder. Just be careful, sir. Right. Huh? What? Chucky asked, looking up. What are we being careful about? Nothing, Minerva said. But it says Inferno there, so are there 3 bars that are all here? Let's go to what it's saying. It's instantly you have 49 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. We've seen this before. So essentially, I believe if you get this wrong, you just go to Inferno anyway. Approach the Grammy door. Here it goes. He gives a hearty kick. So we opened up a door to a place called Labyrinth. What the heck? What is this place? He actually showed up into a Windows screensaver. Murakawa had come to a pitch black void. The cold wind blew from deep within the darkness, carrying with it the sound of a bestial roar. It almost looks like a dungeon of some sort, Minorikawa said. Well, I anticipated this much. He pulled a fountain pen from his pocket. It's no good bringing your gear with you if you don't actually equip it, he said. Pen clutched firmly in his right hand, he strode boldly into the darkness. Oh-ho, a branching path, huh? He'd been rocking for some time. Now up ahead, there was a T that led both left and right. That sign looks pretty important. Minorikawa peered closely at the 4 lines written there. The honest one tells no lies. A liar never tells the truth. One is honest, 2 are liars. See if you can find what's true. Aha, seeking the truth, huh? That's something I can get fired up about. Minorikawa decided to go to the right. Alright, I guess we're doing this now. After making his way along a chilly passage, he emerged into a chamber about 10 square meters. That freaked me the fuck out. A green cat wore a white sign around its neck. I have whiskers. What's that all about? The green cat grinned proudly at Minorikawa's inquiry. It's a hint, the cat said. It's saying that whatever it has whiskers. I see. So by getting hints like this, I'll eventually be able to solve some riddle and win the challenge. I can't answer any questions. All I get is what's written here. Now proceed. I don't need to fight you or anything. Nothing of the sort. I'm not much into pain, really. Instead, I'll leave you with a warning. The green cat lowered its voice. There's a liar in here. A liar? Yes, the blue cat is a liar. Only the green cat tells the truth. The blue cat is a liar. Keep that in mind and be on your way. You mustn't believe what the blue cat tells you. Alrighty then. See ya. And with that, the green cat scampered off down the passageway. Minorikawa followed in the same direction. So this one actually, they do legitimately want me to write down information. Oh my gosh. What game did I just get into? Where am I going? Tony, what? Am I playing the same game anymore? Ooh, he came to a dead end and there was a large hole in the floor. A ladder extended down through the darkness. There appeared to be no other way to continue. Marikawa headed down. Oh my gosh, the sound effects. With the bottom of the long ladder, another passageway stretched out. Marikawa squinted, but it was too dark to see how far the tunnel might go on. He still could turn back, but it wasn't the Marikawa way to bail out after coming so far. He walked onward, never looking back. After a while, he reached another T, a choice of left or right again. Marikawa went... Just keep going to the right. Okay, what color cat are we seeing? Hello! Okay, this is red. This is red. Okay. This time in the room, at the far end of a long straight passage, he found a red cat waiting. This one likewise had a sign around its neck. Marikawa read its message. Fast. Sorry, I'm writing these down so that way I can make sure. He took his pen back out and jotted down the words in the palm of his hand. Have you got that? The red cat asked. Yeah, you got it. Anyway, I'm off. Wait, hold on, Marikawa called out. The cat stopped. The green cat earlier told me something. It said the blue cat is a liar. Oh, is that so? So, what about you then? I only speak the truth. Really? Whether you believe that or not is up to you. Anyway, I'm off. Using its paws to hold its floppy belly, the red cat scampered off. Marikawa followed in the same direction. He came to a dead end and there was a large hole in the floor. A ladder extended down through the darkness. There appeared to be no other way to continue. It was practically begging him to climb down it. No. The bottom of the long ladder stretched down to the passageway. Marikawa squinted, but it was too dark to see how far the tunnel might go on. He was starting to think it might be a good idea to turn back, but he couldn't bear to give up now. He walked onward, never looking back. After a while, he reached another T, a choice of left and right again. Marikawa went, we're just gonna keep going to the right. There's blue. I'm round. The blue cat stood there, panting raspily. Marikawa read the words written on its white sign. I'm round. That's right, that's no lie. It's the red cat who tells lies after all. Right, got it. Make sure you hammer this into your head, okay? I'll be fine. Right, time to move on. But as Marikawa began to hound down the passageway, the blue cat hurried to bar his path. Wait up. You don't need to be in such a hurry. Have yourself a little rest before you go. Sorry, but I don't have time to dilly-dally. It doesn't need to be for very long. No, I'm heading off. The blue cat frowned in consternation. You really shouldn't rush so much. It's bad for your health. With a flurry of paw swipes, the cat wiped its sideboard clear, then scurried away, scowling back resentfully at Marikawa as it went. Marikawa followed in the same direction. He came to a dead end. There was a large hole in the floor, and naturally there was a ladder. Marikawa headed down as a matter of course. At the bottom of the absurdly long ladder was, and expected, another long, narrow passageway. No longer harboring any thought of turning back, Marikawa pressed onwards. Guess we're gonna keep going right. After a while, he reached another T, a choice of left or right again. A breeze was blowing from the passageway to the right. Marikawa went to the right. We'll just keep going to the right, why not? Making his way toward the source of the breeze, Marikawa spotted a light far in the distance ahead. Could it be? There was no doubt about it. It's the exit! Marikawa broke into a full-on sprint. And yet, no matter how much he ran, he couldn't seem to reach his destination. On and on he went, but as far as he could tell, the exit got no closer. Meanwhile, the hallway was getting lower and narrower. Soon the ceiling had descended just above his head, and the walls had closed in until he could touch both simultaneously. Before long, he had to turn sideways to continue. Still, he pressed ahead until he no longer had the space to stand. Then he dropped to all fours and crawled along. Eventually, he was forced to writhe along his belly. Even then, the distant view of the outside seemed impossibly far away. He went on until the passageway was a mere 30 centimeters wide. Scrunching his body up, he forced himself even further along. Finally, he could see that the exit was getting near. It looked like he had maybe 10 more meters to go. Marikawa stretched himself out like an earthworm, inching his way along. Dang! And then unexpectedly, his outstretched right hand thrust into the opening and emerged outside. He felt the warm caress of the air against his fingers. Whoa! What the? He thought the exit was 10 meters away, but it was really just a 10-centimeter hole right in front of him. He tried to back up, only to discover that his body was stuck. There was no way he can go forward through that tiny hole. The only part of him that remained free to move was his hand on the outside. Hey! Somebody help! He flapped his hand around, shouting through the opening.
Somebody get me out of here!
Sometime later, an urban legend spread throughout Shibuya. A tale of a hand that would appear out of thin air, grabbing unsuspecting passerby and spirit them away. Huh. Return to dungeon, return to surface, go to sleep. What? Go to sleep. Hi, creepy cats. Bad end. Game over. I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna do it again. So go to sleep is a bad ending. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, let's go all left next time. Let's see what happens if we go all left. And this time we won't go to sleep, because if we go to sleep, then we just waste time. It's gonna keep going through. Left is always right. Well, okay. We're gonna go left and we'll see what happens. If it's the same things, though, I guess it doesn't matter which ones we choose. So I'm gonna just write that down as because we went all right. Whoops, hold on. All right, so we're back in the labyrinth. Let's go. I'm so confused about what this place is. Why are we here? A pen from his pockets. Okay. Branching pass. What is? So the sign. I just want to make sure I'm understanding the sign correctly. Okay. One's honest, two's are liars. So keep in mind, one is good, two are bad. See if we can find what's true. So we need to find what the truth is. So we're gonna go left this time. Let's see what we come across. The passage rotate chamber about 10 square meters. So this is also if I'm going right. So if I go left, we got Blue who says I'm black and white. A blue cat wears white sign around its neck. I'm black and white. What's that all about? Blue cat's heavy head wobbled as it answered Minorikawa's inquiry. It's a hint saying that whatever it is black and white. I get it. So by getting hints like this, I'm eventually be able to solve some riddle with the challenge. Aha, no questions please. All you get is what's written here. Now go, forth. Is that it? Would we normally have a battle here? No, that's not my thing. It'd only make me hungry. Besides, the weapon of yours is way too flimsy. Minorikawa stuffed his fountain pen back into his pocket. A pen is best used as a pen, the blue cat said. But more importantly, the cat lowered his voice. There's a liar in here. A liar? Yes, of course I would never tell a lie, but everything the red cat says is untrue. Red cat is a liar. Yeah, bold-faced liar. The boldest face of all. Boldest face, huh? Keep careful notes with that pet of yours and carry on. Bye. With that, the blue cat scampered off down the passageway. Minorikawa followed in the same direction. Ladder extended down the darkness. Minorikawa head down. Bottom long ladder, passageway stretched out. Okay. Minorikawa squinted, but it was too dark to see how far the tunnel might go on. He could still turn back, but it wasn't the Minorikawa way to bail out after coming so far. He walked onward, never looking back. After a while, he reached another T, a choice of left to right again. Minorikawa went... Oh. We go all right. So now we're going to go all left. Meow. This time it was a green cat that awaited him in the room at the end of the tunnel. As before, it wore a sign around its neck. Murakawa read the message. I'm sweet, so it's edible then. He jotted down the words in the palm of his hand. You got that? Yeah, you got that. Later then. But as the cat started to leave, Murakawa called out, Wait, hold on. The cat stopped. What is it? The blue cat told me something earlier. It said the red cat's a liar. Oh yeah? Is that true? Everything the blue cat says is a lie. You mustn't believe it. The only one who speaks the truth is me. Blue lies. The green cat. Remember that, okay? Then the green cat pointed and winked at Murakawa before dashing jauntily off down the passageway. Just before it vanished from sight, it appeared to stumble over something and nearly fall. Murakawa forged on, following after it. He came to a dead end. There was a large hole in the floor. A ladder extended down towards the darkness. That appeared to be no other way to continue. It was practically begging for him to climb down. I think this is going to be the last thing we're going to do, by the way, is just try to figure out this maze, and then we're going to end the stream. Because like I said, there's going to be about 2 or 3 streams of just doing this. I think big picture back now, and we've already seen that before. So each intersection has different choices. So if we go to left again, we should run into red cats. A sweet-smelling aroma wafted in front of the passageway to left. Okay. So if we go to left, what do we see? Following the fragrant aroma, Murakawa arrived at a small room. There was a chicken. A chicken was standing there grilling up some rice cakes. It had arranged them on a grill over a charcoal brazier and was using a brush to coat them in oil. They looked delicious. Murakawa swallowed, his mouth watering. Hey, mind if I have one of those? He asked. The chicken gave a nod. If you have some seaweed to wrap them in, then we're ready to eat. But Murakawa took a look around. If someone was cooking rice cakes in a dairy place like this, it seemed reasonable to expect a shelf for something with some seaweed nearby. After all, there was a charcoal grill set up and everything. He soon caught a whiff of the scent of the seashore. Chicken. Where was that smell coming from? There wasn't any sort of shelf. After a moment, he realized the aroma was coming from the walls themselves. He reached out to touch one and felt the telltale coarse texture of dried mori. I see! These back walls are the seaweed! Now it made sense like the chicken had come to a place like this in order to grill up some rice cakes. Murakawa grabbed to the edge of one wall and peered a piece off. But then, the entire wall began to shake. Its structural integrity was compromised. Whoa, what gives? What's going on? A section of wall toppled toward Murakawa. It was heavy, far heavier than seaweed ought to be. Then the other walls began to collapse in around him. Whoa! You died. Is that game over? Return to the dungeon entrance, return to the surface. Let's return to the dungeon entrance. Okay. What the heck? What is this place? Because if I say go to sleep, then we get the bad ending. So, hold on. To figure out which one's telling the truth, let me think this through. Okay, I know which one's telling the truth. Okay, so I know which one is telling the truth. Let me grab my other one. So green is a liar. Green is a liar, because if green is telling the truth and blue is lying, then that means blue's thing is saying that red lie can't be true, which means there's 2 truths, which means that can't be correct. Which means that if green is lying, saying that blue is lying, that means blue is the one who is telling the truth. Which in turn means that red is lying, because red said that red tells the truth, but red is a liar. So we figured that out. Now, if blue is telling the truth, then what we need to do... Hold on. I'm also just going to do right. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go... This is left 1, left 2, left 3. I'm just writing down stuff here. So right now, if blue is telling the truth, we want to go to where blue is. And blue is to the left. So we figured that out not much. So we're gonna go to the left because that's where blue cat should be and say that on black and white. And that should be true. Okay, so we found that one. So next I want to go right. If we go right, I want to guess that we're going to run into the red cat saying that I'm a fast runner. But I don't think that would work. Well, I don't know. We might be seeing something different. The red cat is a liar, and that is the truth. Move to the bend, carry on by. Okay, and we've already seen that. Like I said, we've already seen this before. I don't know. What game are we playing now? What? We went from visual novel to now puzzles. Okay, so we're gonna go right this time. Also, Queen Cheese, yes, I do know that you were right that the green cat is a liar. So congratulations, you're correct. The T, so we're gonna go right this time. Either we're gonna run into the red cat that says I'm a fast runner or something else. Hey again! Oh, it's a blue cat again! Okay, so if we go... blue... power. That's left and right. The blue cat greeted him unenthusiastically. As before, it wore a sign around its neck. Manurikawa read its message. I can't move under my own power. Huh. He jotted the words down on the palm of his hand. Ah, shoot, I wrote can't moat by mistake. He tried to rub off the misspelled word with his fingers, but only managed to smudge the ink around. You got that? Yeah, you got that. Later then. Hey, hold up. Manurikawa called up before the blue cat could disappear. What is it? The cat asked. Well, kind of messed up the note I just took. Then hurry up and fix it. Sorry about this. Okay, got it. Later then. Hold up! What now? I have to ask. Are you the liar? No, I'm not. The red one's the liar. Really? Really, you can rest easy on that. No, I really do need to be going. Wiping away the text from the whiteboard around its neck, the blue cat turned and vanished into the darkness. Manurikawa followed the same direction. So we know we can trust the blue cat. The bottom of the long ladder stretched into the passageway. It was too dark to see how far the tunnel might go. He started to think it might be a good idea to turn back, but he couldn't bear to give up now. He walked onward, never looking back. Alright, if there's any aromas, we need to go. We probably want to avoid that, but... Oh, 3 passageways. After some distance, he arrived at a 4-way intersection. A sweet-smelling aroma wafted in front of the passageway to the left. So if we go left, we're going to die. But I kind of want to go left, because that zeroes out all the options. So let's go straight ahead. We go straight ahead. After walking down a stretch of dreary passages, he arrived at another small room. There's no cat there. Silence, complete and utter. There's anyone here? He scanned the surrounding darkness, but saw no sign of anyone looking nearby. Well, if nobody was there, nobody was there. Manurikawa decided to press on. Then a voice called out from behind him. Please, wait up. Red. I have 4 legs. That is... Oops. Straight. So sorry about that. Didn't mean to keep you waiting. The red cat came rushing in. My apologies. I'm not such a great runner. The cat smiled and jogged up. What is it? So yeah, I'm the honest red cat. When I meet someone for the first time, I say nice to meet you. If I met them, I say hello. If I can't remember if I met them, I fall back on the nice weather we're having. Manurikawa read the words written on the cat's sign. I have 4 legs. Got it. Once he jotted down the hint, Manurikawa slipped around the red cat and started down the passageway beyond. Oh, are you leaving already? The red cat called after him. Yeah, I've already seen the hint. Won't you take it a little bit easier? How come? Is there some sort of problem? No, it's not that. Well, if there's no problem, Manurikawa headed onward. The red cat hurriedly caught up and made its way past him, holding its big head in its belly as it ran into the darkness. Okay. So I'm guessing I should have gone to the right. At the bottom of the absurdly long ladder was an expected another long and narrow passageway. No longer harboring any power turning back, Manurikawa pressed onwards. So we want to ignore the breeze. Okay, 3. After some distance, he arrived at a 4-way intersection. A breeze was blowing through the passageway to the right. We don't want to go that way. Let's go straight ahead again. Ah, you're back again. Oh, it's red again. Fuck. Red. Minorca read the words written on its sign. I live in Africa. Huh. No need to worry. The red cat only ever tells the truth. You seem to be in pretty bad shape there. The cat broke out into a little coughing fit. Well, anyway, Minorca said, guess I better move along. But as it began to head down the passageway, the red cat hurried to a bar's path.
What is it?
What is it?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Could you please get out of my way then?
How come?
Because I kind of need to keep going.
Where are you going?
Onward from here.
Oh, I see.
The red cat frowned and clicked its tongue. You just click your tongue at me?
Of course not.
The red cat turned and hurried away, coughing intermittently and shooting resentful looks over its shoulder as it went. Minorca followed in the same direction. Why is it resenting me? There was yet another hole in the floor. Sick of having to deal with ladders, Minorca just jumped straight down. That was a bad idea. He landed with an elegant flourish like a gymnast finishing a routine. He had to have fallen a few dozen meters. He didn't get hurt? Interesting. What up, Sparky? After some distance, he arrived at a four-way intersection. Could hear feline mewing coming from the passageway to the left and right. He went... Oh, shoot. Let's just keep going straight ahead, I guess, at this point. That's what we've been doing, so let's keep going. For a while, the path was similar to those before, then suddenly his field of vision opened up. What the heck? Where am I? He was in a wild open field full of yellow flowers blooming. Across the way was an old manor. Did someone actually live in a place like this? No, that was preposterous. This place was buried deep in the depths of the earth. Was he hallucinating? No, the sight before him was unmistakably real. It was far too tangible to be some dream or illusion. Should I keep going? A silly question. Going on is my only option. Minorca felt drawn to the manor and started walking toward it. Are we about to be jump scared? Creepy manor. I feel like we're about to be grabbed by cats. He reached the creaky front doors, opened them slowly, and made his way inside. Hello? He called out. Guess nobody's home. What's that? Oh, hold on. Wait, what's going on? Huh? Who are you? I'm Minoru Murakarwa. Hey, stop it. Stay back. Don't come any closer. Whoa, woof! The echoing of his protracted scream was cut off by the sound of the front doors slamming shut. After that, nobody saw Minorikawa ever again. Well, return to the dungeon excerpts. I wish I could skip through this. So we know the correct first two choices. Found a pen from his pocket. Because the first choice is going left, then we go right. Playing Deltarune, nice. So what we're going to do, by the way, is if we do get, like, whatever is at the end of this labyrinth, we will do, like, an extra stream at the end, like, when we fully finish this game, to go back and check all the other paths. We are pretty much at the time that I wanted to stop, though, but... okay, so first one we want to go is to the left. Because I wanted to stop at 5:30. So, we can give this one more try. It's black and white. And I'll let you guys know what's going on. It's already 5:30. I've been awake for 3 hours. And majority of the time has been playing this game. Or 3.5 hours. I'm also gonna get my book and write these down in it. That's right, there's a liar in here. Yeah. But next we want to go right. Because if we go left again, we're going to run into the green cat. But like I said, I'm going to write down everything so that way we get to it. And then chat, I'm actually going to have you guys help decide on what we're going to do later. Because we are going to do 2 more streams as usual. We're just going to see how it goes. This game, though, definitely took a turn. The correct, though, direction is to go right. Because that's where the blue cat is. We want to follow the blue cat. Okay. Can't move under my power. This is really creepy with the cat costumes. Can I just say that? So far we got killed from suffocation, we got killed from crushing, and we got killed by entrapment. Okay, so if we go left next time, I think there's the scent. So I want to say, hold on. So I want to say chicken is left, right, left, and then we also have breeze, which is left, right, straight, right. Okay. So going on right now, we're kind of just going through this labyrinth. If I turn left up here, though, I would get killed by seaweed. Passageway. It's too dark to see how far the tunnel goes. Started to think it might be a good idea to go back. We could better bring up now. It worked out. We're never looking back. Yeah, I'll write all this down. I have it on the note cards, but I have a red journal right there. Okay, so yeah, we can't go left because there's the sweet smelling aroma, which is where that is. So if we go to the right, what's to the right? To the right, I'm guessing is blue again. Yeah, it's blue. Blue. And that was left, right, right. But we've already seen I'm round before. The blue cat stood there panting raspily. Minorca read the words written on its white sign. I'm round. That's right, and that's no lie. This red cat tells lies after all. Right, got it. Make sure you hammer this into your head, okay? I'll be fine. Right, time to move on. As Minorca began to head down the passageway, the blue cat hurried to bar his path. Wait up. You don't need to be in such a hurry. Have yourself a little rest before you go. Sorry, but I don't have time to dilly-dally. Doesn't need to be for very long. No, I'm heading off. The blue cat frowned in consternation. You really shouldn't rush so much. It's bad for your health. The flurry of pulse swipes, the cat wiped its sideboard clear, then scurried away, scowling back resentfully at Minorikawa as it went. Minorikawa followed in the same direction. Now, we've already seen the round, after it went right 3 times. So that's interesting. Okay, at the bottom of the absurdly long ladder was unexpectedly in a longer passageway. Is this a 2-way or is this a 3-way? It is a 2-way, and the right should be a breeze. So we don't want to go to the right, because we've already been there, so we're going to go to the left. If we go to the left, there should be the blue cat again. Oh, you're back again. No, it's red cat. What? But I went left. How did... What the hell? Hold on. Red. Because that was... We went left, right, right, left. Right. Hold on. Right, left. For that. Right for that. Right again. Africa. Why did we get Africa, though? Can't believe we started this because we want to get Stanley. Yeah. The red cat penalty. We're back again. No, we've never seen the red cat before. I live in Africa. We've never seen the red cat. No need to worry. The red cat only ever tells the truth. Seems to be in pretty bad shape there. Huff, huff, hurf, woof. Breaking off comfort fit. Well, anyway, guess we better move. We're gonna head down the passageway. The red had burned his path. We've already seen this. Yeah, all we wanted to do was find where Stanley was. And all of a sudden, we got here. So now we're at part 5. Okay. Yeah, sick of dealing with ladders. Jump straight down. So we can go left or right, and there's cats left and right. Which one do I go to, though? Orchid Florist, Gymnast Feeling Routine, have fallen a few dozen meters. We go left, right, right, left. Orchid here, feeling mewling, coming from the passageways to the left and the right. So let's go left. Queen Cheese really likes the left, so we'll see. Red scribbles. Okay, so red. That was left, right, right, left, left. Scribbles. Ah! The next room, the red cat stood, stumped and wheezing. The writing on the sign around its neck looked like scrawling worm tracks. Huff, puff, huff. Hey there, the cat rasped. What does that actually say in your sign? Huff, huff. I mean, I can't read it, is all. The cat peeled at him dazedly. It seemed utterly exhausted. Carnivorous. Sorry. Carnivorous. Okay. I'm left-handed. Okay, gotcha. The word came out of a really little whimper. Huh? Say it again? Carnivorous. Carnivorous? Alright. As in something that eats meat. The red cat nodded. So should I take that as I'm carnivorous then? The cat shook its head. Yeah. It's referring to an animal that eats meat, yeah? The cat said nothing. Right. I've got it. You don't need to say anything else. Not wanting to prolong the labored conversation any further, Minorikawa quietly slipped away. There was a hole in the floor, so Minorikawa dived through it. Let's see, right or left, we both entered the same place. After falling for a better part of a minute, he landed on the floor below and set it directly down the corridor that stretched before him. Hey, Dawn, how have you been? Long time no see. Welcome to... Hey, looks like you finally made it. That's a golden cat! Or brown cat. Wait, why is there a brown cat? Brown, okay. So brown cat suddenly shows up. Congratulations! Browed repeatedly in satisfaction. Oh, I made it there already. That was easier than I expected. The cat let out a mew snort. Its long whiskers bobbed around gracefully. Now then, based on the hits you've gathered, you need to answer my final questions, it said. Are you ready? Sure thing. Once you give me an answer, you can't change it, alright? And there's only one correct answer? Only one. Are you ready? Given the hints from the honest cat, what is the answer to the question, who am I? Pieces. I can't go up and down? Oh, shoot. I just started going down. Oh, call. That was good timing. I think it's actually Othello pieces. Don't feel like talking about it? No, we're doing good. We're doing good. I think this is Othello pieces because the blue cat was correct. I'm black and white. I can't move under my own power, and I'm round. I think it's actually Othello pieces. I think I actually stopped at the correct answer. Accidentally. I think it's also, who is the honest one? I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. Go. It's the blue cat. That's correct! Yeah! Let's go! I got it! The brown cat said cheerfully. Now then, please make your way inside. Minorikawa headed down the corridor. I got it right by accidentally landing on the answer. Because I couldn't go up and down. I wanted to show you guys. I couldn't go up, or I can only go down. I couldn't go up. I can't believe I guessed it correctly. He found himself facing a grimy door. There was no other way to continue. Here goes, he thought. He drew his leg back and gave the door a hearty kick. What did we just do? We went through all of that, and we somehow are in Susumu's bar. We went through all of that. We went through all of that. We went through all of that. We went through all of that to blind it up back here. So Dawn, for those who don't know the game, this is a story game, a visual novel. And then we decided, you know, hey, let's go to this place called Labyrinth. And we played a game of Labyrinth, guessing answers. Only to take us to the place we needed to go to begin with. So, I'm good. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to do the ending again, just real quick, just to show you guys something. And then we're going to end off the stream, and I'll let you guys decide on what we're going to do next. I don't know how, we just wasted time. Well, we got some bad endings, which is good. But I'm still going to check the other paths because there could be more. But we did get Othello pieces. I want to see what happens also if we guess wrong. Interview. Poor Minorikawa too, just being beat up. Hey, Supernova! Kind of joined in right at the end of the stream. It's all good. Like I said, I'm gonna have you guys decide on what we're doing. Because everything definitely changed. We were gonna do Katawa Shoujo, but we can't, so... I like this music too. And okay, because I want to press B because Teteno should show up, right? Look at that, Teteno! I can't choose Stanley yet, but we have Teteno now up in here. And yeah, that's Stanley right there, but we can't play Stanley yet. I don't know how. So, next time we stream this game, we're going to figure out how to play as Stanley. Because that's the only other person we're missing right now, is we have to play as Stanley. So we're going to choose different options and see what we can find. Because we got to be a Stanley at some point. What did I do? How do we get Stanley now? Well, we got Stanley, but what did I do? All I did was choose to go to... Really, going to the labyrinth. Hold on, I'm looking that... Hold on, before we end this off and ask you guys a question, I'm looking this up. Oh, okay. Okay, no, I figured out what to do. Okay. So, you jumped. That's what you did. Well, that too. Okay, so in order to unlock Jack, you have to reach the keep out of Teteno. Because I'm taking a guess that, Jack calls Kajiwara, and you're essentially trying to find out why Kajiwara just joined in. But you don't know that Kajiwara is going to help until you reach the keep out point. That's what ended up. That's the only difference, because I didn't check the jump until after we did the labyrinth. So that's why I thought the labyrinth was involved. But no, you have to get to the keep out as Teteno. Okay, cool. So we got all the characters. I thought, by the way, that we were going to be playing as Hitomi. I was wrong. It is Teteno, but he's connected to Hitomi. But he's also not on the front of the screen. I wish he was on the front of the game, but that's fine. We get to play as Teteno. So I'm fine with this. All right, let us jump to... There's also bad ending list. There's still some bad endings for Jack and Tenno. We also got some bad endings. Well, yeah, game over. This is some 2-2, yeah. We got 79, 72, and 65. There's a lot of bad endings between these two, apparently. And it could be Tenno and Jack also have some too. So we'll see how it goes. But let's go back to the title screen. And I'll talk to you guys as well. Okay, so, chat, you guys are going to decide what we're streaming later today, by the way. Because originally we're going to stream Katawa Shoujo, but due to... Oh, no, I don't want to quit the game right now. Because I streamed with Squidman, Siren, and Soda till 5:30 or 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning yesterday. I slept super late. It sucks because I didn't get to do an early stream. We can't get to Katawa Shoujo because I like that for the middle of the day. And I can't really do any editing, which I'm just going to do editing probably after the second stuff. You're really bad at timing? Yeah, sorry, Baba. So here's the options for today. Because after, well, essentially I'm going to go down, get some food, relax for a bit. And about an hour and 15 minutes or so from now, at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we'll do the second stream. I'm going to try to edit as much as I can in between that time after I eat, but I want to play a game, of course. And your choices that we have, we can either play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX again. We'll do that for about 3 or 4 hours or so. And we're also streaming that absolutely again tomorrow. That is option 1. So you can type 1 in chat if you want Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. If you guys want Hyrule Warriors, we'll do adventure mode. We just chill, talk. I can answer questions or anything if anyone has questions about other games we're playing, games in the future, so on and so forth. Then we'll do 2 for Hyrule Warriors adventure mode. And then the third option that we have will be Splatoon 2, just on the channel. Like I said, I'm trying to like take a step back from Splatoon 2, but you know, I haven't played Splatoon on the channel in a fair bit, so we can do some like late night stuff, like 7 or something. So that'll be 3. So 1 if you guys want Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, 2 if you want Hyrule Warriors and chat time, 3 if you want Splatoon 2. Feel free to type in chat right now, and pretty much majority wins. I don't know how many people are in chat. Still got view blocked as always, 2 or 3. I don't really care. Gotcha. 2.5, so 2 or 3. My personal opinion, I would rather have 2. I would have 1 or 2. I really don't want to play Splatoon, but I'm going to still give Splatoon as an option, so yeah. 4 for Sheeple. Well, I mean that too. Sheeple is always included. Sheeple's in a shoe right now. And then we're doing a late night stream tonight still. We're still going to do that as usual. That one... I actually know what I'm having for that one. That one I'll be quiet about. That one. I'll wait for some people to give some actual legitimate responses. Exactly, Baba. Exactly. How about this, actually? Because I'm thinking about things again. How about we do this? We'll play Splatoon 2 late tomorrow, or late tonight. So that'll be our 3rd stream. I was going to do, like, either Skullgirls or something for that stream, or like going back to an old game, but thinking about it, I'm like, nah, I don't really want to, and I don't want to play Dead by Daylight again right now because you can come back to back. So we'll do Splatoon 2 a little bit later tonight. Just for a little bit of late night fun. However, it's gonna be Splatoon 2 asterisks, because if I just want to start grinding in a game or something, I will just choose that over Splatoon 2. But I'll let you guys know at the end of the stream. I'm gonna do Spore again in the future. Yeah, we're gonna be returning to Spore sometime this month. Probably next week. You guys will see that on the schedule on Sunday. So with 3 out of the question, technically 2 is in the lead. So it's either Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Adventure or Hyrule Warriors. And right now, technically, Hyrule Warriors is winning because only 2 people have chosen for 2. One's for 1, and then we have 3 joke answers. Sheeple can choose for you. Sheeple can't choose. Sheeple only can count to 4, but it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just 4. 2 since one's different for tomorrow. Yeah, because we are definitely streaming. Like first thing tomorrow is gonna be that. What is on the schedule for tomorrow? Hold on, real quick. Let me double check. Hold on. Hold the phone. Phone's being held. Odyssey, Pokemon, and Mario Makers tomorrow. Okay, I have an idea. So what we're gonna do is this. In about an hour, maybe even an hour, 15, 20 minutes or so, because I also gotta look presentable too. I kind of just woke up and streamed. We're gonna stream Hyrule Warriors. We'll do about 2.5 hours of that, and just we could just talk, we could chill, we could talk about whatever you guys want to. I don't care if it's like sad stuff. I don't care if it's happy stuff. Even if you have a question about games on the channel, if you guys have a question for games in the future, let's do like a little bit of a Q&A Hyrule Warriors thing, because with Pokemon, I'll have to actually focus on the story and everything too. Hyrule Warriors, I'm just going to be mindlessly going through the adventure mode stuff, so yeah. Then tonight will be an Asterix Splatoon 2, where if I'm feeling good after Hyrule Warriors, then we might just jump right into Splatoon 2. If I want to grind in like Zanki Zero or something, which I more than likely may want to, then we'll just do these 2 streams today, and I'll also edit. Because I want to get highlights out to you guys tomorrow. Because I have the highlights all organized, I just need to edit them together. Am I going to play Undertale? Maybe. That's a big maybe. But we can get to that in Hyrule Warriors. Tomorrow we're playing Odyssey and finishing up the main game of Odyssey. Then there's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which should easily be about 4 to 5 hours in the middle of the day. And then we're doing Mario Maker tomorrow. Now, as far as 428 Shibuya Scramble, last thing I'll say before we end off the stream. I'm going to stream 428 Shibuya Scramble on Tuesday. And we will hopefully wrap up the main game on Tuesday. So mark your calendars if you guys want to see the end of the game of the main game. If you guys want to like see all that sort of stuff. Monday we're gonna go about 5:30 Mountain Standard Time is gonna be the idea. We're going to finish up the main game of 428 Shibuya Scramble. Yes, I said main game. I'll get to that at that stream. We'll talk about more stuff for this. And then Shibuya Scramble should be finished by next week. And then Katawa Shoujo Emi's Route will be finished next week. Which leaves us a whole bunch of time to play Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon to get those all completed. Cool. Anyway. So with that being said, seems like we have a game plan. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back in about an hour, 15, 20 minutes to play Hyrule Warriors. So have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name is Katathi. I'll see you guys next time from Ready Gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everyone.